I am live. Holy shit. Car crash. Car crash outside right now. Tina? Whoa, folks. Tina, wait. Whoa. Car crash right up the road right now. Just as I went live. Stop the doggy running away. Check everyone's okay. Doesn't look bad. Don't see anything too wrong. Not sure what's happening. Come on, come closer. Everybody alright or not? Check everyone's alive. Anyone need first aid? Oh. Hey? What happened, Tina girl? Come here. Come here. Hola, buenas. Not sure. Car's pulling away. I'm guessing all clear, folks. Don't know. Here we go. Let's go back. Well, folks, that was an interesting start to TrampCast, eh? That's different. This is TrampCast 29. Give me a couple of minutes to get back in my box. Let's go home. Such as it is. Oh, Tina girl. Here we go. Down the track. That's me over there. If you've been here a while, you'll have seen this before. Not sure what just happened. Sounded like a car crash. Lots of screeching. Possibly something and nothing. Well, that was different, wasn't it? Here's the last of the rubbish waiting to go away. A couple of plastic bottles blown around. These we're keeping. Bricks and things. Those could be my bed again. We got water. We got empty bottles. Shelving units that need remaking. I want them perpendicular and nice and square. Wood in the background that I'm keeping. And then you've got the shithole that is the camp as it's been used, including solar panels. Let's go back inside, folks. That was interesting. Come on, Tina girl. Yes, in. Come on in. There's my Tina girl. Let's fasten up the door so the dog doesn't run away, but with a bit of airflow. Here's the dog. Go on, darling. You sit down. She'll find her own... Tina, lay down. Tina, lay down. Okay, darling. Hey. Hey. You're not going to talk to the peoples. Okay, folks, give me a second. I'm in the dark a little bit, I found. I'm not as brightly lit as I would maybe have liked to have been. See what I can no. Maybe. Somewhere. Oh no. Visitors. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hola, buenos dias. Tina, I'm live on YouTube. Right now, we're on YouTube. Oh, cerveza and agua. Tina girl, come on. Wow, it's all go. We're live on YouTube right now.
YouTube.
You're live. YouTube now. Yeah. Names. What are your names?
No names.
No names. These people, they want to be anonymous. Hold on. Tina girl. Sorry, folks. I'm literally just gone live on YouTube. Just started.
Hello.
Hey, babe. Hey. Hey. Come on, inside. Come on in.
No.
We got to. We're live. We're talking to the world right now.
Good.
Hey, babe. So, did you see what happened at the top? No. The car crash or something just happened. Just as I clicked the button to go live, something happened. Lots of screeching of tyres and things. And when I go to the top, everybody's just pulling away, and all the cars were stopped on the top road. Tina girl. Tina girl. Hey. Come on. Hey. Well, this is a different start, folks, isn't it? We don't normally start TrampCast like this. But hey.
What's the breed?
The breed.
The breed? The breed?
Oh, mixture. She's a mutt like me. A mixture, huh? And a mezcla. Hey? Is it Sweden or Norway?
Sweden.
Sverige.
This is my sister's son.
Okay, your nephew, we would say in English. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Hey, Tina.
What are you talking about?
Hey, Tina.
What are you talking about?
Hey.
I know your name. Tina.
Everybody knows Tina. Everybody knows Tina.
Yes.
World famous, aren't you, baby?
Yes.
World famous.
Good. Have a nice day.
And you. So,
Yeah. Bye.
come back another time when I'm not broadcasting. Come on, girl. In. Thank you. Come on, in. Come on in. Well, that was different, folks, wasn't it? Wow. A can of beer. Always good. Never say no to a can of beer. It's a little bit unfortunate timing. A little bit unfortunate on the timing to arrive just as I'm sitting down to broadcast. And now I can't get around. Oh, I can't get around my own chair because I moved it into the light, or to try and be in the light. Okay, that's not too bad. Here's a mess. Okay, folks, where were we? Where are we? We haven't begun yet, have we? I pushed the button to go live. I don't even know if the camera caught the screeching and grinding. Something happened at the top of the road. When I got there, all the cars were stopped, and then they all just started to peel off and go away. Don't know if it was a crash. I don't know if it was a near miss. Miami Rose. Hello. And hello, chat. Hello, everybody. If you haven't done so already, hit the thumbs up, please. Hit the thumbs up. Shall we begin again? This is TrampCast, episode 29, covering the events of the week ending today, April the 7th, 2024. I am Delta Mike. The channel is Delta Mike Down and Out in Torrevieja. As I say, Delta Mike, that's me. Down and out. A tramp. A hobo. A homeless guy. A vagrant. An indigent person. Down and out. Torrevieja, that's a city on the southeast coast of Spain. That's where we are for our sins. Not entirely legally. Oops. I won't tell if you don't. Okay, folks. How are we all doing? Who's here? I saw Miami Rose is here. Who else? Tom. Hello, Tom. Sunny Beach Walks 4K. I don't know your proper name, but you're in Torrevieja. Yeah, I asked you to email me, my friend. I got an email address that's quite public, or you can just come to the camp. I've got sunglasses, my friend. I've got sunglasses. I just don't really wear them that often. I have a habit of putting them down and losing them, and I wouldn't like to do that with somebody else's property. I'm terrible with stuff like that. But you're welcome to come to the camp, and I welcome any equipment, either donations or, as you say, with the gimbal, the loan. That'd be super. You can just come to the camp. If you can find Cala de la Thora, Zorra, and Cala with a single L. It's a cove, a cove of the vixen, or prostitute, if you're going to translate it that way. I don't know quite why female fox equals prostitute, but that's Spanish language for you. It's not my fault. Not guilty. Cala de la Thora, and there's a Repsol garage and a big Chino bazaar called Gran Bazar El Zoco. Single letters on all of that. They don't do double letters in Spanish much. That should drop you right in on me. Feel free to come around any time, or if you want to make certain, then an email. Delta Mike Torrevieja at gmail.com. Best way to contact me. Okay, folks. We've been quite sidetracked already, haven't we? And I'm still not really well lit. See whether I can help the camera out a little bit. Not really. Not really. Not much in the way of chat. Okay, folks. Where are we? Oh, it's really dark again. I don't know how I can only help it by holding the camera manually, maybe. But that'll be a bit unsteady and you'll all be seasick in no time at all. Okay, folks. As I said, episode 29. Can you believe it? 29 already. We begin, as we always do, with some interesting, or hopefully interesting, facts about the number of the episode. In this case, episode 29, therefore the number 29. 29 is prime, divisible only by the number 1 and itself. It is the 10th prime number, in fact. The others being 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, and 29. Interestingly, it is the sum of 3 square numbers, 3 consecutive square numbers. If you take 2 squared plus 3 squared plus 4 squared, you get 29. 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. 16 plus 9, 25, plus 4, 29. Did I say that right? I felt like I said something wrong. 4 squared plus 3 squared, 25, plus 4, 29. Saturn's orbit around the sun, so Saturn's year, is 29 Earth years. Almost exactly, but not quite. 29 days in February in a leap year, and this year was a leap year. Now this one got me. This one sounds... I would be suspicious of this one, but I'm going to include it just so I can say how suspicious I am. According to a survey by USA Today, 29% of American married couples share a toothbrush. Now, I've no idea whether they're answering whether they share it regularly, whether they're just using the same toothbrush, or whether they just did it occasionally, like as a one-off in an emergency. People sharing toothbrushes. Not so sure about that one. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. The human skull. 29 bones. Who knew? And of course, when you're born, they're not all fused together. It takes a few years for them all to fuse properly. There's a city in California called 29 Palms. Didn't really look into why or how, but it is. Don't know, folks. I didn't name it. Don't blame me. Here's one. March the 29th, 2004. The Republic of Ireland became the first place in the world to ban smoking in all workplaces, including bars and restaurants. Now you tell me, good thing, bad thing? Nanny state gone mad? Or good public health decision? I'm torn on that one myself. You got any thoughts? Go on, I'm waiting. Good, bad, nanny state? Where are we on this one? No opinions coming in. I don't think anybody really likes these numbers sections based on when I release them as separate videos out in the wild. Okay. On July the 29th, 2005, Eris, a dwarf planet that orbits the Sun. So in other words, it would have been the 10th planet once upon a time, before we demoted Pluto and decided it's not a planet at all. It's a separate category now called a dwarf planet, and it's now joined by Eris. Now you know. I think we lost something when we lost Pluto. I was a fan. I like Pluto. Give us it back. I think I wrote this somewhere recently, that when we lost Pluto, it meant that we were searching for like a mystery planet, an unknown planet, which we would have called Planet X. And the coincidence of X for the unknown and also X for number 10, because it would have been the 10th planet, I thought that was useful. I thought that was a thing to have. But we've lost that. We no longer class things that small as planets. Okay. November the 29th, my birthday, is the 333rd day of the year. 334th in a leap year such as this. And finally, well, there's a bunch of things to go with this, but you know the one, folks. Each week, bit of chemistry, periodic table. The element with the atomic number 29 is copper, which is Cu on the periodic table. Soft, malleable and ductile. Malleable meaning it can be hammered flat or squashed flat and moulded into shape without cracking. Ductile meaning stretched, extruded into a wire. What else can we say about copper? Okay, it's used a lot as a conductor, heat and obviously electricity. We all know about copper wires and electricity. Also, it's used in alloys such as sterling silver. If you've had silver jewellery, sterling silver, it tends to be copper mixed with the silver to give it a bit more of a hard-wearing nature. Also, coins and marine hardware use cupronickel, which is copper and nickel alloy melted, when you melt two metals together. Now, copper is one of the fairly rare in that it is what we call a native metal. It's found in its pure form quite often, not always as part of a compound with other Department of Stealth and Total Obscurity. Hello there. We're just talking about copper and the number 29. So because copper is found quite often in its actual form, not joined with other metals in a compound, and not mixed in as an alloy, it's often just found pure. It was one of the first metals to be discovered and widely used. It's the first metal to be smelted from other ores where it wasn't found pure. It was the first metal to be cast, to be melted. I was going to say molten, but to be melted and poured into shapes, into casts, into molds. And it was the first metal to be purposely alloyed with other metals, to be deliberately turned into first tin and then bronze for their obvious uses. So handy stuff. Okay, folks, that was the number 29. Now then, something a little bit different this week. Instead of the usual getting to know you, I'm going to tell you all about my mystery purchase that I've been pondering, and yeah, I can tell you all about it. I'm going to tell you what it is, why I decided to go ahead, and what it's going to do for me. And my arm is getting tired, so I am going to have to put that down. Oh, you bugger. You lost all that lovely brightness. See whether I can... what can I do to help that? That's terrible, isn't it? I'm facing a big old window here, and the sun's over there, but it's behind clouds, so it's a little bit of a shit day in terms of brightness, folks. I'm going to have to carry on, aren't I? I'm going to have to look this way a little bit, which doesn't help because the thing I want to show you is over here. I'm going to have to look the other way in a minute. So, I talked in the past about how I wanted a... Oh, let me introduce a section first. This is the Getting to Know You section of episode 29 of TrampCast. And this week we're talking about my purchase, what it means to me, why I wanted it, and what I hope it's going to do for me. So with that said, let's begin. I wanted to be careful, folks, because I'm spending your money donated by you guys. When I was looking for a tent, I had so many offers of help, and of course Karen and her family paid for half the cost of the tent, which meant I was left with a little bit of extra money. So I'm not going to say it was burning a hole in my pocket, but I was looking for what this money could do for me, what I could do to change life here in the tramp camp, to see if I could move from just surviving to a more stable, more thriving status. And I'm hoping that the thing I've bought will do that. So without further ado, let me introduce you. Oh, this, folks, can you see the name there? This is an EcoFlow. Now, in an ideal world, I would have liked the EcoFlow Delta. But I'm a tramp living in a field. The world is not ideal. This is the EcoFlow River. I'm going to talk you through what it gives me and why I wanted it. See this over here? That's a Spanish plug socket. That's a standard 220 volt outlet. Over here on the left, where my thumb is, that is a 12 volt cigarette outlet, 12 volt power outlet, as seen in a car. In the middle, there's an LCD or LED display. There's two USB-A outlets and a USB-C that I think goes up to 60 volts. No, sorry, 60 watts. Let me get that right, eh? So the two USB-A outlets will power normal phones and older devices. The USB-C is more modern, and I think it's 60 watts. Also, that can be an input. You can charge the device through there. Obviously, the power socket here, it says on it, I don't know if you can make that out, it says 16 amp 250 volt. So that's it. That's a standard Spanish outlet. On the back, there are two sockets. One is a standard power socket, like a kettle lead. If I unplug that, you see a standard kettle lead. That's for charging from a wall. I actually handed this to friends yesterday for them to top it up for me, because I was struggling to get there on my solar. And over here on the right, that's an XT60 connector, the yellow one there, if it gets into focus. And that's for charging from solar panels when you've got proper real solar panels. I don't want to, you see, I'm on the verge of disparaging Mark and Jeff's panels again here, and I don't mean to be. But the panels I've got are 10 watts each, and I've got two of them. That's 20 watts. This thing will charge from, 100 watts and more. It will power a device such as, do you remember me saying last week that I'd found a TV lying around next to a bin, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not? And this week I found this. Yeah? A fan. They both work. They both work. The TV works. I haven't got a way yet. I think I've found a way of putting... I think I can put programs onto an SD card and plug the SD card reader into the TV at the back, and then play them from there. Haven't done it yet, still need to test that, but the TV itself is definitely functional. I've used it, I've tested it. The fan here, we're going to plug in now just so I can show you. The fan draws about 30 watts, which this thing can power easily. So I'm going to plug this in, if I can see what I'm doing. I can't see what I'm doing. Diagonal about there, look. I'm at a funny angle, folks, and I haven't got enough hands. Oh, give me a second. Give me a second, I'll be right back with you. There. Oh. Sorry about that, folks. We're now plugged in. You see, we're plugged in. And over here on the fan itself. Oh, okay. Ha! Got this wrong, look. I need to plug the, I need to turn the system on. Where are we? Turn the system on and then turn on the socket. Socket is now on, and when I press to start things, here we go. Here we go, look at that. It's blowing the, I'm sat in a tent. My friend Ismo has forgot that I'm broadcasting, and he's sending me messages at the wrong time. But I'm sat in a tent with an electric socket. I'm just going to mute Ismo. Apologies, Ismo. I can't be doing with that in the middle of a show. You can see this, folks, yeah? I'm going to turn it off in a second. It shows here on the display, don't know how well this is going to show. It shows that the top number on the right is the power in, that's 0. The bottom number is the watts being drawn out by the device. The number in the middle is how charged the device is. It's 88% charged at the minute. And the number 4, that's how many hours of use we can carry on at this rate from this device. I'm going to turn it off because I don't actually need a fan working at the minute. But I'll turn it off at the socket, and indeed unplug it. Now let me put the camera back on me for a second. It's kind of a demonstration, guys. I picked the fan up, it was next to a bin sometime this week, one day this week. I picked the TV up last week, almost as a joke. I don't intend sitting here watching TV in the tent too much. Maybe occasionally, special events or special occasions, it's there as an option. The TV draws a similar amount of power to the fan, about 30 watts, to put the screen on and use the menus. If I if it was showing an actual program with lots of changing pictures, it might draw a little bit more. But this device would power a TV for a similar amount of time to the fan there, probably 4, 5, 6 hours. If it was fully charged, it's only on 87% of the minute. But if it was fully charged, Tina girl, let's have some quiet. Let's have some quiet. Oi, oi! Shush, shush. Just a person walking past. It's okay. But this, folks, this is going to revolutionize life here in the tramp camp. Mainly, charging phones, tablets, lights, things when we've had cloudy days. At the minute, after 2 cloudy days, I'm out of power, or really low and struggling to get by. This gives me a buffer. This means that I could power my phones and things for almost a week from this. Or when it gets stupid hot in summer, I'm thinking put the fan on for 5 minutes each hour during the peak of the day when it's at its hottest and silliest. Put this fan on just to get the air moving through and out. Especially if I can raise it up a bit. If I can put it on my coffee table here. Have you heard me? Here we go, look, I've got a coffee table. I've got a rug here, look. I've got a rug. I've got a coffee table. There's the EcoFlow. But if I could put the fan on this table or some other thing this high and raise the head of the fan up into the top part of the tent, turn it on and just get that hot air moving on. Again, look, I've got a door at each side of the tent. You're looking out of a door here, and if I switch to look behind me, you're looking out of a door there above my head. So if I can get the air moving out through this door, open over and out, I should be able to keep it cooler in here. Just for 5 minutes, once an hour in the peak of summer, just so that we don't end up with a 50-degree Celsius tent like we did last year. So things like that. I mean, the TV, you know. Now, I do have a computer that's with a lady that I lived with for a while, way back. If I can get my possessions back, I could start doing these. At the minute, everything that I do computer-wise is just this phone. These live streams, editing video, making and editing videos. It's all done at the moment just on the phone. If I could get my PC back, it's what's called a Nook. It's like a 5-inch. What's that? 12 centimeters, but 12 centimeters square by 2 inches, 5 centimeters high. Little square thing. Plugs into a TV with a HDMI socket. That would have me up and running with everything, but I'd have to run the computer and the TV at the same time. But would give me a lot of flexibility when it came to YouTubery, to doing these things. An even better option might be, I've got 2 little mini computers that are like matchbox size. 2, I might even have 3. They're called Raspberry Pis, and those again have HDMI output. We'll wait for the motorbike to go past. Tina, shush. Quiet. Okay, he's decided not to go past. He's just going to sit there and rev. Okay, he's going. I got these computers. I've got 2 or 3 of them, Raspberry Pis. Now they only draw about 5 watts of power, maybe 10. That's a lot more economic, and they do HDMI. So if I can get those, I could do anything with the telly. You know, power a computer, and my phone would be the internet, giving it Wi-Fi. Lots of options there. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Now, there are some uncertainties around this. some uncertainties, which is why I hesitated to make this purchase in the first place, and why I want your feedback about whether you think I'm going too far or not. To make this work well, and to make the biggest difference, I want to get a cooler box. So, you know, like a picnic thing, a cool box for keeping your stuff cold when you go on picnic. But you can get some that run off 12 volts, run from a car charging port, which this device has. And basically would turn the box into a fridge. And I'm thinking if I was to run that just for a couple of hours a day, get it cold before the peak heat of the day, so 10, 11 in the morning, get the cool box cool, keep it in the shade and isolated, and maybe at one point in the day plug it in and top it up, you know, get it cool again. And then I can keep things like margarine, butter. I've got vegetables going off at the minute because they've been stored too warm. I had a pepper just start to go bad. I've lost a bit of bread recently going mouldy. Bread buns. I've talked in the past. Sliced white from a supermarket just never goes bad. I don't care what anybody says. Sliced white, supermarket's own brand, doesn't go bad. Baguettes go stale, don't go bad. But bread buns, bread rolls, those will go mouldy after 4 or 5 days. But if they were kept refrigerated, that wouldn't be happening. So I want, that's my next step to add to this is the cool box. But as I've already mentioned, my current solar panels are not up to the job here of doing this. So I need a bigger, better solar panel as well. So this is what I'm going to be saving for in the coming weeks. I've had offers of help, and I'm not quite sure where I am with some things. But the cool box, the TV, that's almost borderline silly. The fan has its use if used sparingly. The cool box though, guys, the cool box is what's going to make the difference really, because there are so many things. Just a cold drink of water in summer when your tent's getting up around 30, 40, 50 degrees, wherever it ends up this year. That's Celsius. So these are the things I'm pondering, and this is what I was hesitant a little bit to go out and spend a chunk of money. But this EcoFlow River, I highly recommend it. If you decide to get one yourself though, they're great for power cuts and emergencies, but you want to size it correctly for the device that you're thinking of powering. This would struggle to run a lot of your household gadgets. It's not going to run a kettle. It's not going to run an air fryer. It's not going to run a lot of things. It might struggle with like a fridge. It's powerful enough to run a fridge, but your fridge generally has a higher starting current. It draws a lot initially with the compressors kicking in. So you might want to research what your use case would be for such a thing and whether it's for you. I'm going to do a proper full review probably sometime this week. But my advice would be, if you do think about getting one, and if you're going to go with the EcoFlow River rather than the EcoFlow Delta, probably don't want to go for the base model like I did. I'm a tramp living in a field, limited means. I can only buy what I can buy, and that puts certain constraints on these decisions, certain limits and limitations. Anyway, folks, that's a thing that happened this week. I did the purchase, got the delivery, and it's here. I tested it, I've used it. I struggled to get it powered with the panels I have. It does charge them. They do charge it, it's just slower than I would have thought. Possibly an issue with my charge controller still, or possibly an issue with the batteries. I would have thought I would have done better with 20 watts of power coming in, but we'll try and cover that in the review of the product itself. Okay, folks, for this week, that was the getting to know you section. A little bit of a diversion, but that's about me, where I am, and how I'm hoping to step things up from just surviving to, if not thriving, then at least coping with what's to come this summer. Spain, it gets hot, you know? Speaking of which, dry throat. Okay, folks. I welcome your thoughts and feedback on any of this. If you think I've gone too far, blowing your money on frippery, or if you're all in and you want to support me going forward to the next step and help me get the cooler box and a larger solar panel, whatever you are, let me know your thoughts and your feelings, because that's important to me. As I said, it's your money that I've spent. I'm aware of that. It's why I was so ponderous on this. It's why I was so thoughtful for the last, it's been 3 or 4 weeks since I first mentioned Jackery's, EcoFlows and Bluettis. And guys, you other companies, if you're out there, I'm a tramp living in a field. What better test case for your products? Yeah, I'm not going off camping for a weekend and saying how great it is. I will put your shit through a proper long-term test. Real world. EcoFlow, Jackery, Bluetti, and anybody else with a product that you want, you know, testing real world. I'm here for you. Send me an email. Delta Mike Torrevieja at gmail.com. It's in the description. It'll be in the pinned comment afterwards. I'm here for you, folks. Sorry, guys. That's the grift over with. I got no money, but if these guys want to kind of send me stuff to test out, real world, I'm here for them. Okay, guys. Okay. That was the getting to know you section. Now for the thank yous. Well, a tent that doesn't dissolve in the sun, that'll be something, won't it? If I can keep it cooler though, Tom, that might help. It's still going to have the ultraviolet on it, but I'm thinking if I can stop it from getting crazy hot by keeping it cooler, that might help. A textile technologist told me this once about you know, the heat affects fabrics as well. It's not just the ultraviolet. So we'll see. Okay, folks, as I said, that was the getting to know you section this week. A little bit different, wasn't really answering a question as such. Kind of running out of those getting to know you questions. I'm not sure that we've got much more getting to know me to do. Unless you guys have questions. Send them through and I'll collate them and answer them in future programs. Okay, guys. The thank yous is next. The thank yous. Now this week, there are no PayPal donations this week. My last donation was Helen last Sunday, and I thanked her last week. So thank you once again, Helen. Now there are other thank yous that are not PayPal related. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, a family turned up on Sunday at the tramp camp a couple of hours before I was due to do the broadcast. And Anthony, the patriarch of the family, said at the time that he'd come back before they went home, and he did. And he timed it fantastically because I was struggling with an issue, which I'm going to get to when we do the week. But he came along, pointed out something I was misunderstanding, and he also went across to the Chino Bazaar, to Gran Bazaar El Zoco, and bought me some wires and some tools and some bits and pieces that I was lacking. Anthony, Thank you, my friend. And do stay in touch. You got my email there. I answered you yesterday. And stay in touch and let me know when you're back in town. And thank you very much, my friend. Oh yeah, just he didn't just buy the tools and things. He did bring cold beer to the camp. Always appreciate a cold beer, folks. Beer in general, alcohol in general, beer and especially cold beer. Tina girl. Maybe Miami Rose. I'll research that. I'll research the possibility of that. Tina girl, come here. We showed you at the start, didn't we? But let's see whether we can show people again. Where are you? Here's my girl in silhouette. Kisses. Besitos para papi. No besitos. Okay, no besitos. Why no kisses? Nom 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 nom. Okay, folks. Apparently not. Rejected by my doggy. No besitos para papi. No little kisses for daddy. Okay. I used to hate people who called their dogs, you know, who did that whole daddy, father and child thing with pets. But hey, once you got a dog, you maybe understand. They are like little people. Where was I? Anthony, as well as tools and connectors and wires and things, he did bring cold beer. Thank you. There's a lesson there for anyone else who wants to visit the tramp camp. Bring beer, preferably cold. And there are two of us here, remember. It's not just me. There's Joby. I don't mean Tina. I'm talking about Joby, the other guy in a tent under the field. Okay, guys. Who else? Okay. I released a video this week and I made a slight screw up. I did the numbers section from a previous TrampCast. It was TrampCast number 27, and I released the clip of the numbers section. And just before I released that, I'd been watching TrampCast 28. I just downloaded it and started watching that. And somewhere in my head, number 27, the number from the clip I was releasing, and number 28, the number I just downloaded and was getting, you know, starting to prepare. I confused myself. So I released the number 27 video and I did all the titles, the graphics, the keywords and the hashtags, the description, everything. I did them all about the wrong number. I released number 27 all about number 28. And one of you guys, I haven't got a real name, IV2K. These are the letters IV and 2K. Number the digit 2 and a K. Pointed it out to me. It was the only person that did. So thank you. I can't, you know. I just confused myself, folks. You know, nothing more than that. I saw in the comments, there was some speculation about alcohol. No, I tend to clip these things at like 4 in the morning and upload them and release them and put all the data in at like 6, 8 in the morning, ready for 9 or 10 o'clock release, typically. Alcohol wasn't to play, wasn't any part of that. Just, I confused myself, doing something with 27 and then doing something with 28 and confusing the issue. So thank you, IV2K. If you want to contact me and tell me a real name, that'd be nice. I always like to have real names rather than just internet handles. Says the guy doing this whole YouTube thing under a false name. Told you before, Delta Mike's not my real name. Just, some people are still surprised when they meet me in real life and I correct them that it's not Mike, it's... So I tell people in real life. But Delta Mike is the NATO phonetic alphabet used for radio communications. You know when you hear the police with their Oscar Papa, blah, 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 blah. Alpha Bravo, Charlie Delta Echo, etc. Delta Mike, DM. So I'm not Mike, but now you know. Just to avoid any confusion, I'm not misleading anybody. It's just when I got a new phone, and this is something, again, going back to Thankyous, Anita and Tina, the two ladies that got me this phone almost a year ago now. I can never thank them enough. It's the start of this whole YouTube journey. Wait for the themes of the week, which is next, I think. Wait for the themes of the week, because we've got more to talk about on the YouTube journey. We have more to talk about, folks. But Anita and Tina, thank you so much. This whole internet and YouTube journey couldn't have happened back. Before that, guys, I was living in a field with nothing. Everything I had been wiped out in floods when the field flooded. Didn't have a watch, didn't have a timepiece, I didn't know what time of day it was. No radio, no phone, no tablet, no nothing. No light, I didn't have light. When it went dark in winter, that was me, go to bed, 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Go to bed and just wait for the next day. Sit on the cliffs doing puzzle books, or if I could find an English newspaper and pull the puzzle page out and spend the day, or half the day, well, an hour or two at least, occupied with the puzzles. Can you hear the dogs in the distance? Wait for the lady to tell them to shut up. Or not. They can go like that for 20 minutes at a time. Far worse than my doggy. Monster that she is. Anyway, folks, yeah, getting a phone has been revolutionary. And YouTube monetization. Themes of the week, folks. Hang with me. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Finally, the final two people that I want to thank this week. My pseudo-anonymous friends from over the way. I'll get there, Jasper. I'll answer that one in a moment for you, mate. My pseudo-anonymous friends over the way, live nearby, contacted me yesterday and asked if I needed anything. And we've had a bit of a water crisis. Long running, but we thought it was resolved, and then it came back and bit us on the backside again. So I asked them for some water, and when they took the water away, they also took away the EcoFlow and topped it up. I'd got it into the 70%. They topped it up to 90, which is there was a limit set to stop it going above 90% charged. Try and prolong the battery life, which actually doesn't really need, because this thing will last after 3,000. If you charge this up fully and discharge it fully 3,000 times, you'll still have 80% of the original capacity. These things are phenomenal. These things are phenomenal. Unlike most batteries in the past, this thing it's going to last forever in terms of battery depletion. So you've got DC power, you've got AC power with a plug socket, a normal plug socket, and you can use it basically 3,000 times. That's 8 or 9 years of charging it and discharging it once a day, every day, for 9 years. 8 or 9. You work out 3,000 days. 3,000 over 365. That's how many years you're looking at. It's a good 6 or 7 if you did it literally every day, but you're probably not going to. These things are marvelous. Okay, Jasper, I'll answer your question. When I became a tramp, how long till I had a wash and changed clothes? I had changes of clothes with me when I was living in the park. I could wash more or less every day. I could collect water from the sprinklers. When the sprinklers went off at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, I could collect water. I could just stand under the sprinklers, have a shower. 3 o'clock in the morning, no one's going to see me. I kept shorts on because it was peak of summer. But I can wet a cloth and get a wash anytime I want. Washing clothes was more difficult in the park. I didn't really do that. I just kept putting the dirty ones into a bag and putting them into a shopping bag, carrier bag, and into my hold all. When I got down here, where I am now, we're going to come back to this as well. Sometime this next week, folks, I will have been in this spot, this tramp camp, 18 months. This very week. So watch out for some kind of update or special event or something. I haven't worked out yet. Yeah, I don't know if you want to be admitting that online, Jasper. I will wear a t-shirt for a week, sometimes more. But if I put this out in the sun, in the ultraviolet and in the breeze, lots of ozone, lots of ultraviolet, it kind of cleans itself. I have to clean me. Most days, but sometimes not. But most days. Shaving I've done away with, except for when Karen comes and you know, takes the hedge clippers to me. She's not here yet. She's at work today, so she'll be here any minute, I think. But yeah, let me just see if there's any other comments. Not so many people here today. I think I've scared a lot of you away. I had a lot of people unsubscribe this last week. The last 2 weeks, it's been a real challenge keeping the numbers up. But I got a shout out last night from my mate Scruff Dog. You know, doesn't know me from Adam really, but I call him my mate. I like to watch him every Saturday, so he gave me a shout out and I picked up a few subscribers. We got any of Scruff Dog's crew in? Or Big Clive's crew? Any of the technical family? Don't think so. Don't think we got any of you here for the live stream today, but we'll push on anyway. Okay, folks, we did the getting to know you, and we did the thanks. Bonnie, I didn't say much about Bonnie and Clyde and the water. Let me just finish this. They brought me the water. They charged me my EcoFlow, and they came back and they brought me what the Spanish call a brick of wine. That's a cardboard container, the Tetra Pak, the 1 litre Tetra Paks. They brought me some wine, and they'd been to a barbecue. Yes, Karen. They'd been to a barbecue, and they brought me a couple of burgers, and I was going to give one to my mate Joby over under the other tree there, but then I remembered that he doesn't eat beef. That's an extra win, isn't it? I got 2 burgers for me. Yeah, a carton, a Tetra Pak, a brick Tetra Pak carton, whatever. I call it, because I do red wine, what do I call it? Card Bordeaux. It's Bordeaux, it's not actually Bordeaux, but it's red wine, like Bordeaux, and it comes in cardboard. So Card Bordeaux, seems obvious. That's what I call it. Mike waiting for his shave. Yeah, kind of. I just got a scowl from a woman walking past. The most evil look. Wow. I waved at her and everything and she just glowered at me. Bitch. What the fuck? Some people. Anyway. Okay, folks. That was the thank yous for this week. As I said, not a lot going on. If you would like to help me with my future purchases of a cool box and a solar panel to equip it. It wasn't 10,000 hours, it was 3,000 I was aiming for. And you're getting ahead, my amiros. You're getting ahead. Hold on. I hit the target I was hoping for. Yes, I did. I don't think it's going to work out the way that I thought. No, don't worry. I don't think it's going to work out. I don't think this first hurdle, this first monetization with Google / YouTube, I don't think it's going to work out in the way that I might have hoped. It's nice that the channel's grown and that we've got here and that we've done it in under a year. That's fantastic and that's unusual. I mean, I am quite niche. I'm a tramp living in a field. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not going to be a nerderotic or a, I don't name some other the Quartering. These guys, Big Clive, these guys with their 1 million followers. I'm not, I'm never going to be that. I'm never going to be the 1 million. I'm never going to be the 1 million subscriber guy. But it's nice to watch the numbers grow. I told you I've got that mathematical thing. I like to watch the graphs. It's, But yeah, I had a target and we've made it, and I am monetized to a degree. The first level of monetization. I could have turned on super chats and things, but there's so little chat. I don't think anybody would have super chatted anyway. Most of you probably don't even know what super chats are, because you're not. In general, my audience isn't the younger, hipper people who watch tons of live streams. I've spoken to people who I'm the only live stream they ever watch. So super chats and super thanks and these other bits and pieces that have been turned on. Membership. We could have our own little members club and I could release videos only visible to members. I don't think, I don't think that there are enough of you for any of this to be worthwhile at this point. Yeah, you have to start getting above 100,000 and above, like Jasper's just saying there. So we'll see where it goes, folks. We'll see where it goes. The full monetization, if I hit 4,000 hours, which I expect to do in approximately 1 month, then I get the ad revenue. They'll show adverts alongside the videos, and I get a percentage of the advert revenue. Again, I'm not sure whether I'll ever actually get it, because you have to give tax information in the country that you're living in. And if any of you have been following my actual situation, you'll know that there is no tax registration and tax information for the country I'm living in. Look at my hair, what a fucking mess. That's because I push the glasses up here all the time like that, look. But I'm not sure, folks. PayPal is probably, if you do want to help me out, either bringing food or money to me in the field, or PayPal are the ways to go. I'm not sure about any of the other stuff yet. I'd like to progress and get back to normal life and take you all with me, let you follow the journey. But there's no, there doesn't seem to be any progress on the Spanish side of things. The wheels of bureaucracy, they grind, but they sometimes grind really slowly. I adapt, I cope, I survive, and hopefully I can begin, with your help, I can begin to thrive. I don't want to sit here, like building a, you know what I mean? I'm not looking to build up a fantastic livelihood living in a field. I just want to get by. I just don't want to starve to death or run out of water and die thirsty. Still trying to find a way, guys, of getting this brightness sorted. So yeah, there's my friends Bonnie and Clyde. Water, burgers, wine, and they charge the EcoFlow for me. So that's the end of the thank yous. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all being here, and coming along week after week. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, a tramp in a field. I thank you. I really do. Okay, guys. Themes for the week. Let's do this. This is episode 29 of TrampCast. The week up to April the 7th, 2024. And the themes for the past week. Well, folks. Electricity. Solar power. EcoFlow. The mystery purchase that I've been that I've been hinting at for the past, is it 2 weeks or 3? It's now here. I did the demo before. I have a plug socket. I have electricity in the middle of a field. It's like having a generator, but without the noisy engine running. No diesel or petrol involved. If you've got adequate solar supply, which is my next step. Getting the solar and then getting a cool box. Watching TV occasionally and having a nice fan blowing cold air through the tent. This was a major theme of the week, folks. From when I placed the order with EcoFlow, I got a confirmation and then nothing. Like literally nothing. No warning it was going to be delivered, no nothing. I got a phone call from the delivery driver that he was here. And my Spanish, I surprised myself. My Spanish was up to the job. I normally don't answer the phone when it's an unknown number because I was kind of, waiting. I answered it just on the off chance. And he said, paqueta, packet, parcel, package. And I said, entrega ahora, delivery now. And he said, sí, yes. Oh, wow, muy bien. Very good. Repsol, I said. And frente de Repsol, in front of Repsol, the petrol station, the garage at the top of the road. And I went digging around for my passport, thinking he's going to need ID. My passport's water damaged and what have you. Also, the order went in under the name Delta Mike. I wasn't watching, I went through kind of automatic, click, 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 click. Went through as Delta Mike. If the guy had wanted ID in the name of Delta Mike, he'd have struggled because my passport's in my real name. And he just handed it to me. He didn't want any ID. Muy bien, very good, very well, very well, very good. Todo bien, he's all good. Okay is a kind of a, approximate translation. Very well, very good. Okay. And that was it. He just drove down here, handed it to me, reversed out. He's handing over a couple of £100 worth of equipment without a signature, without anything. What happened to Spain and bureaucracy? Don't get me wrong, I'm glad because I wouldn't have wanted to be explaining the Delta Mike versus real name in the passport. But yeah, it arrived. So that's a big theme for the week. Getting that, and then the experimentation that's been happening. So I got it and realised I had no way of getting the power from the solar panels into the EcoFlow. The power comes in from the landscape art. Hello. The power comes in from the solar panels through a charge controller into some 12-volt batteries. And I then use the charge controller to get the power back out and into USB powered devices. But it didn't draw enough power to charge the EcoFlow River through the USB-C port. I couldn't draw enough out. So I had to think things through. And the EcoFlow Delta I got, EcoFlow River, Delta's the one that I want, but that's... Sorry, EcoFlow. But top of mind. EcoFlow, come on, send us a Delta. You know you want to. Where was I? A glacier would do as well, guys. You want to show off your freezer with ice maker with a tramp living in a field. I'm here for you. Here endeth the grift, not a hope in hell. I got my EcoFlow River, but it won't take the power from the USB. I don't have enough. My USB are just USB-A. They go to 5 volts at 1 or 2 amps. Not enough. But the EcoFlow comes with a wall adapter, a wall socket, a plug for plugging into the wall and getting 220 volts. And it comes with a cigarette adapter for plugging into a car cigarette port, the 12 volt socket in a car. And I thought, well, if I could buy one of those, if I could buy a socket and attach it to the 12 volt batteries and then plug the EcoFlow into the batteries, we'd be away. And so this was the route that we took. This is where I needed help from Anthony that I talked about earlier in the help section where he helped, because I'll get to it when we come to do this properly in the days of the week, when we do the week proper. But these are the themes. These are just the overall concepts, the overarching items this week. The other main theme for this week: water. Water. We've waited all winter for the water to be turned back on at the foot wash places on the beach. And come Easter, the week before Easter weekend, what they call Semana Santa here, that they have the whole week as a holiday, the water was turned on, and we went and we got water, and it was all good, and we almost went and got more, but we hesitated. And when we did go to get some, or when Joby went to get some, I should say, they've turned it off again until summer, I think, until the summer season. And we were down to our last couple of bottles of water. We got two 8-litre bottles of water and a few 1.5 and 2 litre bottles. But I'm not sure, Jasper, because it's not running through pipes and been in a kettle long enough to fur the kettle up or anything. Paul, unlikely, because the amount of water that we would need and the soil isn't. There's only 2 or 3 inches of soil where there is soil, and then you're onto bedrock because we're on a cliff top. I did try sprinkling a few seeds from a pepper plant and a tomato plant, but there hasn't been enough rain this year. There's been hardly any, and we're struggling for enough water to survive ourselves, never mind throwing it on the ground. So unlikely. We considered it, it was something that we thought about and would have tried, but no go. I can't even get a tent peg in the ground. Not just here, no cacti or cactuses, just here, Jasper. There are a couple in some gardens away, and I know you're going to say cut them and get the liquid, and you got to be careful though. Some of those cacti have got poison in the liquid, and I don't know one cactus from another. No good at gardening at all. So no. Are there any other themes for the week? I'm not so sure. I don't think there are. Those are the main two. There's the ever-present ones really of rats and mice, although this week has been really light on that. I think I heard something last night, maybe once or twice through the week, but not enough for it to be one of the themes of the week. And so far, nothing has penetrated into the tent itself. I haven't got the money for buying, Jasper. Money is limited. The buying the EcoFlow. This again, going back to the ponderous, the way that I've thought this through over the last month or so. That was a large commitment. Basically, it's the money that I saved when Karen stepped in and Karen and her family stepped in and paid for half of the tent rather than me having to pay for it all. So I spent that other half of that money on the EcoFlow, and now I just checked this morning while checking whether I'd had any donations and whether, for the thank you section. I've just got enough, I think, to pay my phone bill next weekend. I'm almost, there's just enough in PayPal to keep my phone going and keep me on YouTube. Without that, I would be disappearing offline for for a little while. I am down right now. I've got what I've got in my pocket, and I got what's in PayPal. Which the PayPal money will go. The last of the PayPal money will pay for my phone bill, and then yeah, I'm not sure, Miami Rose. I don't know. The only water that we would need the water from the foot pump to be filtering. I've got water purification tablets. I've got bleach still, a little bit, but without the actual water to purify, you can't just put seawater through these things. Water's difficult. But my friends over the way here, Bonnie and Clyde, as I'm referring to them because they want to remain anonymous. They're too close. They don't want other neighbours knowing they're involved. But they helped me with water. We've now got some water here. And they've said, don't hesitate. I was holding back from contacting them. Don't want to bother people. Don't want to, disturb them. But they've assured me it's not a problem. It's only a minute's drive. It's, So, thank you, my friends, Bonnie and Clyde. You know who you are. And I'm told that you do watch my videos. You tell me that you do. So, okay, folks. I think we're done with the themes of the week. Here we are now on 1 hour and 16 minutes, almost 1 hour 17 minutes. Shall we begin? This is episode 29 of TrampCast, and we're about to begin the week. A week in the life of a tramp, a hobo, a down and out, a vagrant, somebody sleeping rough. Not so much anymore, is it? Have a look around at the palatial tent, 7 meters by 3 meters. I was telling somebody yesterday, I lost my phone for a couple of hours. I lost my phone and couldn't find the damn thing. It's not like I couldn't ring it or anything. 7 meters by, it's so big I can lose my phone for a couple of hours. I lost a shirt on Monday. We'll get to this momentarily. I lost a shirt on Monday and I only found it, I think, the day before yesterday. What would that be? Friday. Okay, guys. A week in the life of a tramp. Let's begin. So normally I would begin with Sunday. Oh, thank you, Paul. That's amazing. Cheers, thank you. We begin usually with the Sunday after the TrampCast. But last week there was no TrampCast. I cancelled fairly late on. The wind was picking up and I'd not actually finished my notes. So so we did TrampCast on Monday this week. Or to cover the last week. We did it this Monday, just gone. So there's no real notes about after the show last week. Sorry that it was at short notice. The wind was picking up. It had not been bad all day, but it just picked up in the evening or late afternoon. So Monday, took Tina. This was my shirt. Took Tina for a slightly longer walk than I've been used to. Jasper, hold it, pal, hold it. Took my girl for a walkies on a Monday morning. And I've noticed recently her nails on her back foot in particular are getting she's a little clanky as she's walking along on the pavement. And we've not been going, we used to walk like to Lesenia Boulevard, that's 12 kilometres that way and back. Or to Guardia, 12 or 13 kilometres that way. Spend the day walking around Guardia and then walk back. So we used to do these really long walks and haven't been doing them. And haven't been going on long walks on tarmac or concrete or flagstones, pavement. So, and she will not let me cut her nails. She does not. I paid the vet to do it once, and the vet failed. Still took the money, but didn't do a good job. It's my girl. She has her little ways. Took two of us to hold her down, and the vet trying to cut the nails and still couldn't. So I decided I'm going to take her on long walks again to try and just wear those nails down a little bit. The front ones she will dig with. The front paws aren't as bad, but the back she doesn't use as much. So we went on a long walk, and somewhere I left the camp wearing I had my t-shirt on, and then I had my green check shirt. This one. Just spoilers. I had this one with me. And later that day, after we'd got back and done things, I could not find my shirt for love nor money. Like I said moments ago, it was 3 or 4 days later I found the damn thing. We'll get to that. I actually became convinced that I'd taken it off while I was out and maybe left it on the chair that we sat down on. And then I've got up when Tina's misbehaved and got up and walked home. And I thought I'd left it behind. Later that day, we actually went back and checked, but... So yeah, Tina's long walk because of her nails, and I lost my shirt. It's a very sunny day, and when we got back to camp, I made sure to utilise the sun and get everything charged fully. Charge the tablet, charge the phone. I've got these AAA batteries and AA batteries that plug directly onto a USB cable. No charger, just the charging circuit is in the top of the battery inside a little port. I got those all charged to power my lights. I've got a lantern that I use at night that's solar powered. We got that out. We got everything charged to the utmost. Really good day for solar. Got everything done. But I was preparing for TrampCast. So it's like one of the warmest days so far. Hottest, sunniest. And I had to sit inside finishing my TrampCast notes for you guys to entertain you Monday afternoon or evening. You weren't there, were you? I'm going to tell you all off now. I did a TrampCast on Monday and there weren't very many people there. I know when I change the day, I know the midweek ones, when I do have to do them on a day other than Sunday, they get fewer people. God bless you, these ones don't get that many of you. In a typical TrampCast, there's maybe 30 or 40 of you who come in and out. You each come in and do kind of somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes each, and then jib out and maybe come back and catch it later on the replay. So if you have just joined us, if you haven't hit the button already, I'd appreciate it. I want to try and get 20 thumbs up actually during the stream for once. If you could help, it's a target that I've kind of set myself to try for. Thank you. Look, the thumbs ups are coming flooding in. There are some of you out there that haven't hit the button yet. Why not? If you haven't subscribed yet, why not? It's free, as Trevor Coult would say. Trevor Coult MC on YouTube. Check him out. Good bloke. Give him a follow. Okay, guys, where was I? Monday. I sat inside preparing for TrampCast, and then I did TrampCast. I did TrampCast on the Monday, like I said, and not many of you were there. But that's all right, because in the hours afterwards, actually a good chunk of you turned up and caught it on the replay. So we got. This was where we were looking. I needed a small number of extra hours to get me over the hurdle and qualify for monetization. Tina girl, Tina, come here. Come here. No, you're all right. Come here. You're not in too much trouble yet. Just come and sit with your daddy. Come on. Come on. Where was that, folks? Where was that? I needed about 17 or 18 hours from memory to qualify for this first level of YouTube monetization. And you got me there from the YouTube from the live stream, the YouTube live stream on the Monday. So thank you to those of you that did watch, whether you watched live or whether you watched on catch up. You got me there, and that's great. Now, you got me over that hurdle. And the only thing that happened after the TrampCast was that I went back to look for this missing shirt. This missing shirt. Bugger. You wouldn't think that in a confined space this small, you could lose something for bloody 4 or 5 days. I turned this place upside down looking for the damn thing. Okay, guys. Tuesday. I checked my numbers on YouTube. So I needed 17 or 18 hours to get over the hurdle. I knew I'd got them. I knew it. Immediately the broadcast finishes, YouTube give me some statistics of total hours watch time during the stream. And I knew we'd hit it, and they showed me we'd hit it. The day after, on the Tuesday, I go to check my numbers, and suddenly they're only showing data up until a week previously. Curious. At the same time, I start losing a load of subscribers. Like I lost like 8 subscribers in the day. I got 3 or 4 back, but I ended the day on -4, -4 subscribers for the day. So that was nice. And all week that kind of carried on. YouTube were 1 week behind with the stats. They sent me an email telling me, you've made it. You now qualify. You can now apply. They don't tell you qualify. They tell you that you may apply. And they tell you how to. And you log into the app that I use for monitoring these things. And I log in and they tell me, no, we're only showing data up until a week ago and you don't qualify yet. On the one hand, the email, yes, go on, apply now. On the other hand, computer says no. Little Britain reference. So yeah. So I this was where I released the numbers from TrampCast 27. I cut out that section, I clipped that and released that as a separate video. And this was when I'd also been looking at TrampCast 28. I just downloaded it. I had to jump through hoops. I can't access my external hard drive. It's got some kind of data glitch that needs resolving. And so I'm having to shuffle things between different SD cards and to the tablet and things to try and make space. I had to juggle things and delete some things and make space. Then I managed to download TrampCast 28, started to watch it while preparing TrampCast 27 clips for release. And this is when I released the numbers from 27 and did a graphic, the thumbnail image, all about number 28. Made the title all about the number 28 and everything 28, 28, 28, 28, and the video was about 27. This is when some of you were commented that red wine must be powerful stuff. Cheeky buggers. I appreciated the humour. Cheers for that. So this was when IV2K stopped by and was the only person to correct me and say you need to change the title. I had to change a load more than the title. I had to change the image, the hashtags, the tags, the whole description. I had to edit everything except for the video itself. Yeah, I think that's my biggest mess up so far with YouTube. That's classic. So this was in the afternoon. I sat outside on Tuesday. Nice sunny day again, but I sat outside, and this was the phone call that I referenced earlier. Paqueta, entrega ahora, etc. And this was when the EcoFlow River arrived, that we've discussed already. In the other sections of this TrampCast, But for the purposes of when I clip this and release this as a separate clip, here's the EcoFlow. The EcoFlow River 2 that gives me, on the right hand side there, over here, this. That's a plug socket that will power devices like this. And like, as a joke, like that. I'm a tramp. I live in a field. I have, let's do this properly. I have a rug. I have an armchair that I'm sitting in. I'm told by my friend Jasper that it's a Queen Anne style armchair. But now I have a plug socket. I have a fan, a television, and I'm going to find some other things to work it with it. But I need a bigger solar panel. That's the next step. My 20-watt panels will not cut it for this. They're okay for powering a phone and a tablet. They're not going to power an EcoFlow River 2. EcoFlow, if you're watching, you do solar panels, don't you? Hint, hint, EcoFlow. Come on, before I jump on board with Bluetti or Jackery. I'm joking. I'm EcoFlow through and through. Thanks to Will Prowse, if you want to know. Guys, Will Prowse. Prowse, Prowse. His YouTube channel is something like DIY Solar with Will Prowse. Everything I know about solar and Jackery's, Bluettis and EcoFlows, I know from him. The Delta, Jasper, the Delta Max would be an absolute dream, my friend. I'm a tramp living in a field. Limited means. I haven't got $1,000, euros, pounds, $1,500, euros, pounds, $2,000, euros or pounds. I haven't got that money. I am a tramp. I live in a field. One step at a time, my friend. We'll get there eventually, maybe. We're going to try. We're going to try. We're going to make it or die trying. Okay, folks. Back to the. So that was the delivery. That was what arrived, and I've done a little bit of an unboxing video, and I'm going to do a proper review. Stand by for that. Stand by for that. I've got a couple of other things to review, like the lamp that I got from Leroy Merlin. Despite their bad customer service and all their website issues, I'm going to give them a fair review of their lamp. I like it. It's not quite what they say it is, but we'll get to that when we do that product review. There are a few product reviews on their way. Now, going back to the unboxing of the EcoFlow after it arrived, after the man came, I got the phone call, he brought it. I told you already, he handed it to me with no ID because I'm the man in the blue tent at this location. How many men are there in tents at this location? But only one of them's a blue tent. Tienda de Acampar and Cala de la Thora, Cove of the Vixen, or Female Fox, or Cove of the Whore. Spanish. I don't make the rules, guys. I don't make the rules. I didn't invent these words. But Cala de la Acampar, or del Acampar, can also be translated as camping shop. Because tienda is shop. Once upon a time, all shops were tents in Spain. So tienda, which was the word for tent, became shop. And then you want to have a tent, it's tienda del acampar, or de la acampar, or whatever. However you're going to conjugate those different words and join them together and do your thing. But also, I got a bad translation at one point while I was trying to make the purchase. It translated my address as camping shop. Hey. Anyway, it arrived, folks. It arrived. The man handed it to me. I unboxed it. and was immediately a little bit disappointed. EcoFlow, if you're watching, delivering a device on 28% power when it's a big fuck-off battery that's not supposed to lose charge, that's not your most impressive trick. That's not your most impressive trick. I expect a lithium-type battery to be shipped at or about 50% charge, because that's the most stable point for long-term storage. The ions aren't being attracted to the anode or the cathode. It's not gathering and scaling and doing those things that the batteries do when they go bad in storage and in transport. 50% is supposed to be the... Tell me if I'm wrong, EcoFlow. 28% on delivery? How long's this thing been in storage? What happened there? Makes you wonder. That little factoid will form part of my review. Not much wind at the minute, Jasper. And not much in general. We're shaded on two sides by trees, big banks of trees. But when the wind comes from one of the other two sides, we can be a little bit exposed, if you saw the videos the week before last. Anyway, guys, back to the Tuesday. Disappointed that it was only on 28% charged, and I was a little bit confused by the indicator lights. 28% charged, but there was this big, like a, you know, if you watch a program Countdown and you get the clock with the lines around, it was almost halfway around, but on 28%, which didn't make sense to me. I've since worked out there are 5 20% sectors going around, so 28 is more than 20, 2 sectors lit, that's why 40% of the circle was lit. But when you watch the video, when I do the review and the unboxing, you will see my confusion. I've worked it out, we're all good. I was just a bit of an idiot, a bit slow on the uptake. When I've seen these videos in the past, I thought it was a literal countdown. I thought it was fine, granular, going to go all the way around, not 5 lights. Jean-Luc and the Cardassians, not Kylie and her sister. Cardassians, they look like reptiles. They're grey with ridges and necks and things. It's a Star Trek thing. Deep Space Nine mainly, but also Next Generation. Okay, folks. So yeah, here I was grappling with my new toy and testing it out and things, but I didn't have the balls to plug the TV in. As I mentioned, I'd found a television next to the bin the week before, and I didn't dare plug that in initially. I didn't want to know. It's that uncertainty. While I'd got the TV sat there, there was a possibility I've got a working TV. If I plug it in and it doesn't work, I collapse the uncertainty wave function. Physics. Maths. Uncertainty. Heisenberg, uncertainty principle. He says that you cannot, with a particle, you can know either its direction or its speed, but as soon as you measure one or the other, you change the other, you affect it. But there's all sorts of uncertainties, and Matey Boy with his cat, Schrodinger's cat, that's another thought experiment to do with collapsing uncertainty waves, probability waves. Anyway, I'm waffling science. If I plug the TV in and it doesn't work, I'm going to be gutted. So I didn't want to find out. So instead I went shopping. I didn't go shopping because of that. I needed some baguettes and some chorizo. My midnight snacks, folks. My midnight snacks. But when I came back, I grew a set of balls, and I actually plugged the thing in and found out whether it worked or not. It works. I got the remote. I thought it was going to. I had confidence because of the way they'd put the remote control out with it and balanced it and left batteries in the remote control. Everything about the way it was put out smacked of it being a working TV that they've just outgrown. Maybe they've upgraded, which a lot of people do at Easter here in Torrevieja. People come on holiday, and either at the beginning of the holiday, their Easter holiday, they throw things away, and while they're here, they replace them with the next thing. Or at the end of their holiday, they're sick of putting up with things and they throw things away. And when they come out next time, they'll do the purchase to replace or upgrade their things. Easter's a great time in Torrevieja for picking things up by the bins. If you saw the other week, I got 4 chairs, real heavy-duty patio furniture, good, solid chairs. The fan that I've got here, that I picked up this week, the TV that we're talking about, lots of things I picked up. We're about to talk about some more things that I picked up out and about. The fan was one of them actually, but I've spoiled that surprise already, haven't I? Okay guys, so yeah, as I said, I went shopping, and when I came back I grew a set and I tested the TV and it works. As far as I can tell, it works perfectly. There's a scratch on the bezel in the top corner. It has got quite thick bezels. I guesstimate the TV to be about 10 years old, given the styling and also the firmware date, the date of the software that's on it. I might even have had this exact TV myself in the past. We'll talk, Jasper. I don't know what you mean by a magnet generator. All electricity is made by spinning electrical coils in a magnetic field. We basically still live in the steam age. I've got friends who work where I live in the UK, Lancaster Morecambe area. There's a village to the side called Heysham. Some will say Heysham. It's got a couple of nuclear power stations. And even a nuclear power station is just a big kettle to boil water, and then that boiled water, the steam, is used to spin coils within a magnetic field. There are standard magnets, stable, and there are electromagnets. Or you could be talking about bipole and dipole and whatever else. But that's not a conversation for right now, my friend. Hit me up on email. You want to talk? Drop me an email. deltamiketorrevieja@gmail.com. Links are in the descriptions of all my videos. Almost all. Jasper. So yeah, as I've written here, tested the TV. Oh my God, it lives! My next trick now is to get an image off of my phone or whatever and onto the TV. I got some pen drives, they're mainly dead. I've got a SD card reader that is a pen drive format, USB dongle. I think I can put stuff on the SD card, put it inside the SD card reader and plug it in. I haven't tested this yet. Failing that, I'll get a Raspberry Pi or I'll get my own belongings back, my own computer and my own Raspberry Pis that I already own, and plug those in. We will find a way of making this work. I don't imagine I'm going to be sitting down watching TV night after night after night. The EcoFlow would only power it for 5, 6, 7 hours only. But I've got other aims for the EcoFlow, for the EcoFlow River. I've got other aims for it, other uses. The fridge box, the cooler box being the main one. The fan as a secondary. TV is way down the list, and you know, I picked it up almost as a joke, but it might be a nice to have once in a while, you know. If I can watch my Friday Night Tights or Big Clive Live or Scruff Dog on a big TV, 32-inch. I'm calling it a big TV because I'm watching everything on a 5 or 6-inch phone or a 7-inch Kindle tablet. I don't even have a 10-inch tablet, folks. 7-inch. That's as big as I've been watching anything 32-inch just seems, it's like a football field. It's huge. Okay, guys, that was Tuesday night into Wednesday. And if you've just joined us, folks, I noticed the numbers are fluctuating. People come in, they watch a bit, they leave. If you haven't already, I'm trying to get to 20 thumbs up, 20 likes during the show. If you could help, if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, get on with it. Or as Camelot 331 would say, get on it, doggone it. Camelot 331 is a guy I watch. NASCAR driver nowadays. Actual proper real NASCAR driver. At the races, it's always been his dream. He's put a lot of his own money in, obviously a lot of time and effort over the years, but he's making it. He recently finished top 10 for the first time in his NASCAR career. It's only his second start, I think. But he's going to be at Talladega soon. And the other one, what's the other biggie? The other name I would recognise. Okay, Jasper. So yeah, get on it, doggone it. I want 20 thumbs up within the live show. If you can help me, please do. Thumbs up. Let's get to 20. Please, don't make me beg. I will beg. So okay, Wednesday morning, coffee with Joby, discussing the EcoFlow river, discussing it and the next problem that I was facing, how to get power into it, because nothing I had would work the way that I thought it might. So this was when we then went for a walk, a long walk with the doggy, and we went over. Well, first we went to the Chino Bazaar here. So I'm throwing around this term, Chino Bazaar. If you've been in Spain, you'll probably know the term. But if you're not from Spain or haven't done any time in Spain, think Poundland if you're British, or Dollar Tree if you're American. But in Spain, for some reason, some weird deal was cut with the Chinese way back, some kind of tax breaks. All of these little tat shops, these shops that will sell you piles of rubbish for pound, euro, dollar, what it's a euro here. All of these types of shops seem to be owned and operated by Chinese people, possibly with family connections or whatever back home. But it's just culturally, it's just a thing. All of these little pound shops, dollar shops, euro shops, they're all Chinese owned and operated, almost all. So when I say Chino Bazaar, that's the term. I don't even know if I'm being racist. It's possibly a racist term. I don't know. Like back in the days when we called Asian shops in England a 4-letter word beginning with P and ending in Aki. I might be being racist without knowing. If I am, I apologise. Not my intention. It's what everyone calls them. Chino Bazaar. Okay. Are we back? Can somebody let me know in chat that you're here? I'll wait for chat. Somebody say hello. I'll take a quick refreshment break. Oh, thank you, Jasper. Okay, folks, we're back. Went to the Chino Bazaar, and I'm looking for the female socket, the cigarette lighter, the 12-volt power distribution socket from a car. That colloquially, it was always known as the cigarette lighter or cigar lighter socket. I went over, he didn't have one. And Spanish customer service didn't offer to get hold of one for me either. They do not do customer service in Spain. I told this tale a while back. I can go to the Mercadona, the supermarket. I can spend money there. I can do a shop and have it all run through the till, and I can bag it up and pay and get my change back without the girl on the till even looking at me sometimes. Sometimes she'll even just put my change down on the counter, not even hand it back to me. Standing there with my hand out, and she put it down, and not even look. She's not even looking at me. Customer service much. Story for another day maybe. But so anyway, we headed off to another Chino Bazaar, another one of these Chinese shops, and managed to sell ourselves a 12-volt cigarette socket. So here's the idea: connect the 12-volt cigarette lighter socket to the batteries that have been charged by my solar panels, and use the cigarette adapter, the male connector from the EcoFlow, to put into the 12-volt socket to charge the EcoFlow. And it's working. It works. It works now. This, what after we bought it and got back here, we had a visitor at the tramp camp. I said already in the Thankyous. Anthony stopped by. This is the guy from a couple of weeks ago. He stopped by with his family and gave me a little bit of money. And that ain't cheap. He stopped by this time, and he brought some beers. It was afternoon. He brought 6 cold beers, which my mate turned down. Now again, folks, you see my quandary. The beers are here and they're cold. I don't often get cold beer. I could just store them. But you can't store cold beer. It's not going to stay cold. You know, it becomes just beer, doesn't it, after a while? After a while, it's not cold beer, it's just beer. Couldn't have that. That's against the law. Had to drink it. But we'd come back, and this cigarette adapter thing, it's got a black wire and a red wire. Positive and negative, it's obvious. Plug it in, line it up, get it all going, and the light's on. And I've pushed... the cigarette lighter thing comes actually with the cigarette lighter, the cold metal that heats up. So we push it in and wait for it to get hot. And wait. There's a little light come on. We wait, and we wait, and we wait. Fucking nothing. And I can't get the cigarette lighter thing to come back out because it won't come out until it gets hot enough and springs out. And we wait. Good job this Anthony came by. He told me my mistake. Those wires were just for the light. They had nothing to do with the 12-volt cigarette lighter, the 12-volt power distribution socket. That needed wiring separately. And I didn't have any of the right tools. I didn't have any crimpers. I didn't have wire strippers. I didn't have wire. I thought I was going to have to cut this other wire that's currently in use in the solar system that I've got. But the guy, he just walks over. He just says, "I'll be back in." He walks over to the Gran Bazar El Zoco here, the Chino Bazaar, and he buys me. He comes back like about a quarter of an hour later with a bag full of. He bought pliers, he bought wire strippers, he bought wires, he bought connectors, he bought the thing you would put in your car in the cigarette socket to give you the USB ports. He bought cables. He bought all sorts of, you know, he brought this bag of stuff back. Incredible, absolutely incredible. And just people walking past, just giving them a wave. They're often struck by why there's a guy sat talking to himself in a tent. They don't know I'm talking to the world, broadcasting to the world. All 8 of you. If you haven't already, guys, come on. You know you want to. So yeah, he pointed out that the cables I had attached are literally just for this crappy light. Unbelievably, it's not even an LED light, so it's like got quite a high power draw. Just for a crappy light that's not indicating anything. While ever there's power, it's going to be lit. It's not indicating that you've pushed in the cigarette lighter It's just on because power. Total power drain. Anyway, he pointed out my mistake, gave me the tools, got me the wires with the little adapters and connectors and, you know. I've already thanked him in the thank you section at the beginning of this, but if you're watching, Anthony, thank you, my friend. Thank you again. I would have still been sat here now wondering why it wasn't working. Good afternoon, Cameron. Hello there. So yeah, I would have literally still been sat here wondering why it wasn't working. I didn't recognise that these two metal blades off the back of the cigarette lighter socket, I didn't even recognise that those were blades that you put connectors onto and attach the wires. I thought because there's already a red and a black wire to the side of it with this light, I thought that was it, but you know. I've said before, I'm not the most practical of people. I'm amazed that I've managed to survive as long as I have, living how I am now. Some of the things I've had to learn, some of the things I've had to do. When I built a shelter out of 6 broom handles and a broken tarpaulin. Just lots of things that I've had to do and cope with and survive, and some quite basic things, some quite, you know, where to go to the toilet and how to go to the toilet. How to survive without toilet paper. I've had to cope with a lot of things. I've had to learn a lot of things. I'm okay with electronics inside a computer. I can take a computer apart and build it. I used to build them and sell them. Used to teach people how to use them. But electronics per se, messing about with 12 volts and, you know, wiring things up, not really my thing. As a kid, I wired plugs when we used to do that, before the law changed and everything comes with plugs already attached in the UK. People now have lost the art. They don't know how to put a plug on because they never need to. I know that. I get that far. But yeah, it surprises me, some of the things I've had to learn and some things I don't know. So recognising these little blades on the back of the cigarette adapter, recognising that those are where the cables attach. I was clueless. I had no idea. I had to look online to see which was a positive, which was a negative. But I got there, and we got up and running. We got working. So we're on Wednesday, aren't we? And yeah, I've been on the long walk. We got the thing. We got the visitor. Anthony's here, and he corrected me. He brought the beer, and he brought the cables and tools. So now I've got wire strippers. I've got pliers. I didn't have any of this. I've got hammers and things now as well. I've got like a mattock type thing, a pickaxe type thing. I've got tools, guys, spades, shovels. I started with like a bag, 2 bags and a dog, basically, is how I started. 20 months ago in a few days, 18 months of which in this camp, this week coming up. Going to do something special. I don't know what yet, but we're going to do something special to mark the occasion. Stick with me, guys. Stick with me as I try and get back to reality and face the consequences of some of my past decisions. It's going to be a fun ride. Okay, there's Anthony. He got me on the right lines. After he left, I said I was feeling lightheaded, 6 beers, and Jasper. I said I was lightheaded and wasn't going to touch the socket. I wasn't going to start wiring up electronics after drinking 6 cold beers. But I did, and we got it working, and it's all good. You should have seen how far. When I pushed the cigarette lighter adapter, the male, into the female socket, I'm trying to get the EcoFlow to charge, You should have seen how far away I was holding it from myself, trying to distance myself in case sparks flew. Yeah. So yeah, he got me. I'm gibbering. He pointed me in the right direction. Anthony pointed me in the right direction. After he left, I got it done. I got it done. But we only managed to charge the EcoFlow River here, EcoFlow River 2. We only managed to charge it from 23% to 29. Sorry, to 39. 23 to 39 from the battery that had been charging all day. You see my issue, folks? The maths don't add up. When I do the maths, I've got two panels that are 10 watts each. That's 20 watts, potentially, of power coming in to batteries. The battery is a 12 volt, 8 amp hour battery. That's 100 watt hours when you multiply it out. 12 by 8, 96. But it's 12.5, 12.8, 12 point, whatever a battery is. So it should be 100 watt hours of charge. It's a deep cycle battery, deep discharge battery, leisure battery. So you should be able to use a hell of a lot of that, not just the normal 50 that you would do, 50% that you would do from a lead acid battery normally. It's a deep cycle battery. You should be able to get 75%, 80% of that out. And it's either not going in properly, maybe the panels are not what they say they are, maybe the charge control is not as good as it says it is, or maybe the batteries are not what they say they are. Ismo, my friend, you're in the sauna. Have you got your beer? This is Ismo, my Finnish friend. Ismo, Finlandia. Kipis, Ismo, kipis. Excuse me, folks. I haven't spoken with my friend Ismo for a little while. We had a little chat earlier today on Messenger, but he just finished work. I don't know whether I'm amazing or hard-working, Leon, but thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment. Trying to build my way out of this. Trying to build my way out of this mess. One step at a time. Guys, if you haven't already, I'm trying to get to 20 thumbs up during the actual live stream. We're on 2 hours and I'm only on Wednesday. I better get a move on. But I was saying, I got a problem somewhere in my solar setup. Something doesn't feel right. I know the capacity of the EcoFlow. And I know that if I've been charging all day and I've got the power that I think I should have, it should have added more than 16% to the EcoFlow. Should have been more. This thing is 280 watt hours, somewhere just under 300 watt hours. You do the maths and work out what 16% is. If you call it 300, no, call it 250. We'll go under rather than over. 10% of that would be 25 watt hours. 15% would be 37 watt hours. I've got 20 watts of power coming in per 20 watt hours per hour, potentially, allegedly, coming in. And I've got batteries. I've got two batteries that can each store 100 watt hours. So why is a full day's charging only adding a tiny amount to the EcoFlow? It's not adding up to me. Something is going missing in the, and it's not just inefficiencies. I know that you only get 85% of what you try and put in actually come through. And I know that when you take it back out again, you only get 85% of what's there coming back out. I know that there's a round trip loss. I know all this. But I'm doing the maths and it's not adding up for me. So I've got things to sort out with this. And it's not the EcoFlow. I know it's not the EcoFlow. It's my setup here. I think it's the charge controller. I've been thinking this for a couple of weeks now, ever since I changed over from the previous charge controller to this one, because I thought this was better. Digital display rather than 4 lights, yeah? You remember the 4 lights, Jean-Luc Picard, Star Trek references. Guys, we're only one away. Come on. One of you out there that hasn't clicked the button, just push the button and get me there. 20. That'll be a record, I think, for during the stream. But yeah, okay, guys. That's Wednesday. That's where we left off Wednesday. Charging the EcoFlow and feeling something's not quite how it should be. Is Spain a good country to move to? Asks Leon. I believe so. My experiences are generally good, as long as you can avoid the Guardia Civil. Actually, the Policia Local can be. Those were the ones that were truncheon happy with me once upon a time, or baton happy. Long story. Story for another day. Covered previously, if you watch the bacon sizzle videos, the Guardia sizzle. Ismo. Superstar. It's my friend Ismo. Okay guys, I was about to talk about Thursday. Thursday morning starts and I have coffee with Milado over the way, Joby, and we go for another long walk. Again, Tina and her nails, trying to just grind them down on the road. But also, as I've explained, I'm getting low on money. So I'm doing the bin rounds again, going around looking for food and useful, not just food, but useful items. Tina girl, let's have a bit of quiet. Oi, come here. Come here, now. Yes. Come on. I know you're there. Dog. Okay, so I'm going around trying to save money, looking for food and useful items that I can pick up, such as a fan or a telly, or for patio furniture chairs. Or this week I got a God, can I show this? This piece of furniture with this faux distressed, burnt, scorched kind of appearance. This is the kind of beer that the people at the beginning of the show, the guys that turned up just as we went live, they brought me a can of beer. If you weren't here at the beginning, there was a car crash or some such on the top road, and I went out, and then just after I got back inside, some people came down and said hello and gave Tina a cuddle and brought me a can of beer. But obviously I just started recording, it was a little bit awkward. So I hope they come back. If you're out there, guys, do come back. But I found this cabinet a few days ago, and I thought it might do okay for sitting a TV on top of. What do you think? I think if you can sit a can of beer on top, you can sit a TV on top. Okay, guys, where are we? Thursday morning. So I'm walking around bins. We're going for a long walk, me and my pal Joby and my girl Tina here. And we went on a fairly long walk, a couple of hours. Found a pizza. Uncooked, one of the ones you get in a supermarket, and you've got a week or so to cook it. It's fresh. It's not frozen. It's fresh in the big one. I don't know how big, but so we went walking, and there's a pizza by the bin, and it'd been deliberately left by. It's a thing out here that if people are leaving the country or if they've got something they don't want, they don't just put it in the bin. If someone else might get use of it, they put it by the bin. And this thing was on the footpath next to the bin. 6 weeks out of date. 6 weeks out of date. Fresh pizza. You buy in the supermarket and you've got 6 days to cook it. 6 weeks out of date. Picked it up anyway. Picked it up, brought it back. Tina, come here. Hey! Let's have a bit of quiet. Come here. Come here. Come here. Now lay down for me, please. Lay down. Come on. You're okay. You're not in too much trouble. It's just a cuddle. Oh. Somebody stopped a van right outside the camp. I don't know if they brought me something or if they're dumping. You get builders come and dump rubble builder's waste. The roads are, it's not really a road, it's a track with potholes. It's just rock, really. But they try and fill, if they're dumping things, they'll try and fill in the potholes and things. Could be that, might have been someone bringing me something, could have been anything. Dog barks, can't help it. Anyway, pizza, while we were on the walk. We also found a pack of bread buns, a pack of cornflakes, with an egg in the top. I guess they'd put it there so it didn't break. What else? Breadcrumbs, egg. I've lost myself, I've lost my place. Thursday. One egg. Okay, yeah, this was when I got the chest of drawers. This was that same day. So we came back home carrying, laden, overladen, overburdened really. But came home and just cooked the pizza. Now, how do you cook a pizza on a barbecue? A gas barbecue, where one of the gas jets is broken, he's spitting out at one big flame at the side. The only way I've found to do this is to put the pizza in a frying pan. And initially I set it directly on the flames, but that was too much. That was burnt. So I put a grill in a metal rack above the flames, sat the frying pan above and turned it up full. Intending, this was the intention, put the lid down on the barbecue, turn it up full for a couple of minutes, get the entire box hot, so hot air over the top of the pizza as well. That was the intention. Idiot here sat down, drank his coffee, and forgot that he'd put it on full blast. So kind of 5 minutes later, there's that kind of charcoaly, burnt-y kind of smell. We rescued it just in time. The bottom was a little bit, the base was a little bit charcoaly. Only a thin layer. It wasn't burnt. It was just overly toasted. Char grilled pizza, but actually, all the cheese and everything on top was really nicely melted because it got too hot. I don't advise it, but I cooked a pizza this time last year. Same type of pizza. Comes in a dark plastic tray with a clear plastic top. This time last year I cooked one just by sitting it in the sun for 5 hours. Sealed. Sat it in the sun, so it got hot inside the plastic container. And then for the last half an hour I opened the top to let some of the moisture out. It cooked really well. A little bit soggy, as you'd expect, because it's steaming in its own moisture and its own vapours. But that'll be probably about this time last year. Did a video on it, if you want to check the back catalogue. If you check the playlist, Cooking with a Tramp, Cooking with a Hobo, YouTube don't like the word tramp. Nah. Because of its connotations of female, what's the word? Promiscuity. We have to kind of tread lightly around YouTube's terms and conditions sometimes. I'm not a fan of policing my own speech or policing anybody else's. But sometimes you have to make these compromises. My mate Patrick won't. Patrick Crows Thunder. Don't think he's here, but he doesn't compromise. The YouTube algorithm doesn't like single word titles on videos. So what does Patrick do? Single word titles for most of his videos. They don't like you swearing, so he swears. That's Patrick. He's an outlier. His term. Okay, cooked the pizza, and set about trying to charge the EcoFlow again, and yeah, I did a little bit, but my phone and tablet are low on power, so I end up charging those rather than the EcoFlow. I'm charging them from the EcoFlow. Helen, hello there. We were talking about you earlier in the thank you section. You got a brief mention because I already thanked you last week, I know, but thank you. But so guys, I added a little bit of charge to the EcoFlow, but then used it to charge my phone and tablet. I wanted to test some features, but when you get something that's like a big battery, best practice really is to get it charged up towards 100% before you start using it. So I didn't want to use it too much. I charged my phone and my tablet and used about 14% of the EcoFlow's power, which means I could charge my phone and my tablet 7 times over, no problem. That's not bad. But I won't be doing that because fans and televisions and fridges, fridge box, cool box, whatever you want to call it, is what I'm hoping for. That's where we're going with this. That's where we're going. I don't want this. Okay, I am not sponsored by EcoFlow. We bought the damn thing. We bought it. You guys. It's the base model, the EcoFlow River 2, the base model, not the Pro or the Ultra or whatever descriptors they add on for the fancy stuff. It is somewhere around 280 watt hours, I think, this particular battery. Enough to power my fan for about 10 hours, 8, 9, 10 hours. Enough to power the TV, similarly, I think, 7, 8, 9 hours. Tramp in a field with a fan and a I don't know what the EUR is there, Jasper, sorry mate. I think it's 280 odd. I don't think it's 180 odd. Anyway, onwards. Cooked pizza, charge things, then use the charge. Friday morning, folks. Friday. Joby arrives at my door. The guy from the other tent across the way. He's hidden under trees, Jasper. My tent's 2 meters high and the trees aren't. I'm not going to get under any trees with this tent. It's fucking big. It's huge. 7 meters by 3 meters and 2 meters high. I'm not hiding this anywhere. And I made a deliberate choice of this particular site back in the day so that I'm visible. People will see me, see that I need help, and offer help. It's a little bit grifty, you might say. It's a ploy. Would you say ploy? I don't know. That sounds a little bit too manipulative. But before I had a big tent, when I was just on a rolled up mattress from a sunbed, from a sun lounger by the pool, when that was my bed for 2 months, 3 months, whatever, being visible, having people offer me help when I had no money, when I had nothing, that was important. I could have died unnoticed, being seen, tugging at people's heartstrings. Manipulative, I guess, but it was a conscious decision, for better or worse. And I've now, when the people try and move me, I've got the defence that, look, I've been here this long. It's a partial defence. Why now? Why move me now? I've been here all this time. What's different now to before? I get to put these arguments forward. If I move, I bring a whole new set of complaints that I'm new in whichever area or I'm at a new location. Don't want that grief. So yeah, sorry, I saw Helen just said something and I missed it. Let me just trust the universe. Yeah, I know you yoga types can be a bit woo-woo. I'm not exactly. I lean more towards the science side of things, but make myself visible, and then people can offer to help if they think I need it. Now, big shiny new tent, power socket in field, electric fan, television. I look more like I'm glamping than that I'm a guy just trying to survive. And consequently, fewer donations, less help. Nobody's brought me any food this Easter. In previous, last year, and at other holidays, Christmas, Easter, whatever, people come out, people leave here to go home before the holiday. If they live here permanently, they might leave here to go back to Sweden or Norway or the UK. They leave here, empty their cupboards and their fridge and bring me food. This year, I got that maybe a month or two ago. I did a video with a lady locally. Can't remember her name offhand, but it's there if you scroll back through recent videos. But oh, Jasper. Do you know how many volts run through streetlights? It ain't 220 volts, mate. There's thousands of volts. They're connected in series down the road. That's death. If one wrong move and you're dead. It's not something you do lightly. It's not something I would tamper with. Big Clive of Big Clive Live and BigClive.com. Big Clive would be able to do that shit. Maybe Scruff Dog, I'm not sure. Me, I'm dangerous enough with 12. I'm dangerous enough with 12 volts. I'm not messing with thousands. That's not me. Okay, folks, where are we? My mate turns up Friday morning. Do you remember? Joby was at the door. And he tells me that the water that we've been using, that came back at Easter, it's been gone all winter. We waited for Easter and the water came back on. Gone. Bastards have turned it off again after Easter. My water supply, gone. So we're back to kind of asking people, begging for water. And we were low. I had 2 6-litre bottles outside, a bag full of 1 litre, 1.5 litre bottles. But I still haven't washed my hair, folks. It must be, I'm going to say 3 months since I washed my hair. You got to go back about 2 haircuts to when I'd washed it. It's got to be 3 months. I've got clothes that need washing. Now, fortunately, my friend Karen, not the last time she was here, the time before, took a load away, washed them and brought them back. But I got the things I've been wearing in the meantime that I need to wash. So even the bad water from the foot wash would be fine for that. And I've got the water purification tablets, or I've got bleach. I can purify the water one way or the other. I could always boil it if I had to. Wind turbine. I'm fascinated by the technology, but we seem to either have no wind or we have strong winds when you can't use the wind turbines. They break. You have to turn them off and clamp them down when it gets windy. There's always these renewable energy sources. There's always a dichotomy there. There's always a paradox. Solar panels get less efficient in the sun. When they get hot, they get less efficient. Wind turbines have a maximum speed beyond which you have to turn them off. When it gets too windy, you have to stop your wind turbines. The world is full of kind of inbuilt contradictions and paradoxes. Anyway, the water is off. We had none. I think we're safe. People won't let us die. If we knocked on someone's door and you're like gasping for water, we'd get help. There's a guy around down the road here, Miguel, that I can ask. He did ask earlier this week, but because the water had been turned back on, I told him no, we're fine. 2 days later, we're running out. But Bonnie and Clyde over the way got in touch. We'll get there. I'm getting ahead of myself because I've already told you during the themes of the week. We're okay. We have water. We've got about 10 8-litre bottles now. We've got 80 litres of water plus. We've got almost 100 litres in total with what we already had. And I got beer. not going to die of thirst. And I see that we're over the 20 mark. 21 thumbs ups. If there's anybody out there that hasn't though, let's see if we can hit 25. That'd be good. Let me crack on though, because Friday, Joey arrives, tells me there's no water. We again go for a long walk because Tina and her nails, and plus we want to collect things from bins. We're looking for food. We find, you don't always find food. Sometimes you find equipment and things that you like, things that you want. 2 new pans. One's like I think it's metal on the outside, but with like an enamel inside, like almost like a serving bowl, like a long boat. But I think it's oven safe. I don't think you would put it directly over a flame. I don't think it's that kind of pan. More of a almost a casserole dish or crock pot type, but no lid. But that kind of thing. But with also though, there was a more of a proper. Tina's just going in the bedroom. There was a, like my big, I call it my cauldron. If you've seen my main pan that I cook my 1-pot meals in. Kind of got another one of those. A little bit wider, a little bit shallower. Again, no lid. It might fit the lid I've already got from the other stuff though. I'm not sure. We'll maybe check that out. I didn't think to check that before now. But anyway, we found 2 pans. This Friday, long walk, 2 pans. Where are we? We also found a loaf of bread, 2 cartons of cream, cooking cream, nata para cocinar in español. We also found there were 7 apples in a bag and a tomato, all just packaged nicely in a paper bag next to the bin. So that was nice. It's not, this thing, it doesn't have, we don't have this in Britain as far as I know. Because they have communal bins here that are emptied every day, hot country, they can't leave the bins laying around. So the bins get emptied every day. And people who have got, if you're leaving the country and you've got a fridge full of food and no one to give it to, your rich neighbours next door probably don't want your cast off food. But a guy in my situation, I'll take it. I'll pick up food from next to the bin. Hell, I've picked up food from in the bin. I've picked up floor pizza. When someone's thrown away a takeaway pizza at 4 o'clock in the morning and they've thrown it on the floor over on a Saturday night, I've picked it up at 8 o'clock Sunday morning, brought it back here and eaten it. Because food is fucking food. You do what you need to do, folks. This is, like I told the police the other week, this is not camping. This is survival. Free food. I'm not going to turn that away. And I don't want to be throwing food away, which again leads back to wanting the cool box, like a fridge. I'm looking at a 40-litre cool box. 40 litres and quarts. For any Americans out there, a quart and a litre are indistinguishable in human terms. You can't tell the difference to look at. 2 pints and a litre. American pints as well, because they're smaller. Let's not go there. I'm just trying to translate for you so that you get litres and quarts, They're... Jasper's back with the fishing. I haven't been Jasper yet, but I promised last week that I would go fishing, and I haven't. I've broken my promise to you guys. I've had other things going on, but it is in the works. It is going to be done any day now. We are going fishing, possibly tomorrow. I don't know yet. It depends, weather dependent, and weather with other things. Maybe we'll carry on with these walks and go and finding food. So maybe tomorrow afternoon. I don't know yet. We shall see. Okay, so we went out for the long walk and we found things. This was where I took out the backup battery that I have, the second battery. The second battery, the one I've had in storage for a while, and I hooked this up to the panels so that I've got 2 batteries in process. Trying to charge one battery, connect that to the EcoFlow, and then charge the other. That was the idea, but that's been superseded slightly now. and will be superseded even more shortly. Bear with me. Bear with me. As you can see, this messing about with my little solar panels that Mark and Jeff gave me, and thank you guys, thank you. They've been a lifesaver. I am kind of on the cusp of outgrowing them, I think. I'll probably carry on using them for charging the phones and things, and save the eco flow for the bigger stuff, unless Mark and Jeff want their gear back. That's always an option. I said right from the off, it's theirs. It's theirs to take back when I'm finished with it. So we've got that. We got that option. We got that option. Okay. So yeah, I charged everything from this old battery that I'd taken out of storage. Mark and Jeff had charged it fully before bringing it back to me a while back, and I got everything, connected the cigarette lighter directly to the cigarette lighter socket to the old battery, and got tablets and things charged. And that takes us into Friday night, folks. And you know me and my Friday nights. It's my big entertainment. Friday and Saturday night are my two biggest for YouTube. But my evening's enjoyment was ruined by local youth. Oh, bastards. Fireworks. Bangers. Placed in bins, I think. Placed inside some kind of container to concentrate the boom. Jasper, I'll get there, mate. I'll get there. So, my dog, Tina here, she hates the fireworks. She hates any loud bangs, engines backfiring, people making banging noises, certain motorbikes going past, anything like that. She will shake, she will cower, she will bark, she will... She ran into the bedroom, and she likes to find a dark corner and back into the corner. But this time she picked a corner that's already got stuff in. Damage and destruction, folks, yeah? Or death and destruction. And I've got the two nicknames for her. She tries to go into a corner that's already got things in. And she walks over things. She walks over like my bedside cabinet to get in there. Now at the minute, my bedside cabinet is two plastic boxes, storage boxes, with kind of a round chopping board. It's about 2 inches thick. It's a tree trunk, 2 inches, 5 centimeters. She walks over it and knocks all my crap off my bedside cabinet and gets into the corner. She's standing on things I don't want her standing on. And then she's trying to bloody claw her way out of or push her way out of the tent. Like trying to create a hole in the fucking side of the tent where there is no hole. So I have to restrain her a little bit and pull her back, and it gets a little bit shouty. I lose my temper. I'm dragging her back out of that corner onto the mattress where she's allowed, onto the bed. But I don't like dragging her around by the neck like that. But she was breaking things, she was damaging things, and she was at risk of ruining the tent. I had to do something in my defence. But I was rather shouty with her. And then the fireworks carry on. The fireworks, the kids are setting one off every 5 or 10 minutes, but these are really loud, really big, loud things. And apparently, no one else is going to object. Did I mention in my video about the Guardia Sizzle? Did I mention that I moved towards trouble with a view to stopping trouble? Kids damaging things with explosives. They weren't just setting them off in the street, they were putting them in bins. My dog's not happy with it. I'm not happy that it's carrying on and that my dog's like in danger of tearing my tent apart. No one else is going to stop it. So Muggins here goes out and marches at them, dragging the dog along who doesn't want to go along, but I can't leave her to wreck the tent. So off we go, and we have a bit of a shouty But they kind of see me approach and they start walking away. They walk from the main road where they've been. They walk down a side road, and as I get to that side road, they turn down a side road from the side road. And as I get to the top of that, they're at the bottom of it, and I'm shouting at them like an old school maniac, you know, in a foreign language to them, just telling them to fuck right off and don't come back. And if I didn't do it, nobody else was going to. I stopped the problem. My dog wasn't listening to fireworks anymore. Mission accomplished. Even if a couple of kids are upset that they've been shouted at. I know it's a different country, different culture. I know fireworks is part of their thing. When I was a kid, they were part of our thing. I threw bangers, you know. I didn't stand in one spot throwing lots of them, and I didn't put them inside bins to try and either blow up the bin or just make a louder bang. I wasn't destructive with it. Possibly a little annoying because it was the 70s, you know. Anyway, move towards trouble, end the trouble, as is my way. So I come back here, and the highlight of my week, Friday Night Tights. Friday Night Tights last week got removed from YouTube for being too, a little bit too tasty, a little bit too much. YouTube banned, you know, took it down. The guy had the option, Nerdrotic, the guy who runs the channel, he had the option of editing it. He could take out some of the spicier bits. But his representative at YouTube, this guy's got 1 million followers. You get your own contacts at YouTube when you get that big. I never will, but his representative told him that there's no way. There was too many things to edit out. And the moment you make one edit, you lose the chat. Once you make an edit to a video that's up there, the chat disappears and is gone. And the chat's one of the best parts about Friday Night Tights. So it just he had to just leave it, just let that go. It's available on Twitter and Rumble and Odyssey and other video platforms. But here I am wanting to watch it because I'd kind of fallen asleep halfway through that one the other week. Got distracted and taken away from it. But I'm watching it this week, and then the usual happens. Highlight of my week, and I fall asleep, I don't know, within the first hour. Ridiculous, folks. This thing starts at 10 o'clock. I'm asleep by 11. I'm a night owl. Left to my own devices, ordinarily I will be up 3 or 4 in the morning, and then grab a few hours, and maybe have a nap through the day. And Spain and siesta and my naps, it works generally. But ever since Milado arrived in the field and he comes over at 8 or 9 in the morning, I've lost that late night element. So Friday Night Tights came, Friday Night Tights went, and I saw a fraction of it. But I've downloaded it in case they remove it again. So Saturday morning, very hazy day. High cloud, and the sun was trying to come through early on. I had a coffee with Milado, and the sun was trying to come out, but as the day wore on, the cloud just seemed to get thicker and thicker. And this was a total failure. We did another long walk looking for equipment, furniture, food, whatever we could find. 3-hour walk, guys. 3 hours of walking around every bin we could kind of find. Nothing. We got absolutely bugger all. After the walk, so you walk for 3 hours and you get back, and the last bin before you get home, there are 2 plastic chairs, green plastic garden furniture. I've got more chairs than I know what to do with at the minute. I'm thinking I might need to throw something away, but I thought about taking them, but no, I didn't. But we got back from the walk, as I said, with nothing. And this is when Bonnie and Clyde as I'm referring to them. Not their real names, obviously. But this is where they contacted me. And just we had a little chat, and they asked, "What do you need? Do you need anything?" And I related the story about the water and how we're down to our last couple of bottles. "Oh, no problem. We'll be round in half an hour. Get your bottles ready. We'll come and collect them. We'll bring them back, fill them, and bring them back to you." So we got 10. We've got more, but I thought 10 was asking a lot. I thought I was too presumptuous. I didn't think they'd take 10. I thought they might take 5 or 6 and, say the rest we'll do another time. But no, they came. They put them in the car, took the 10 bottles away, took the EcoFlow away to top up. It was on 60 or 70%, and I wanted to get to 100 to give that battery a good start in life, but didn't realise there's a setting limiting it to I don't know whether it was a setting that was there already or if I've done it while looking through the settings, but I remembered it was set to 90% as a hard limit. It'll go down as far as 10 and up to 90, so it won't go down to 0 and it won't go above 90% for charging, just to try and extend the life of the battery. I think I might have done it in my messings, in my tinkerings. But it's on 70 odd already, and they take it away and they say, "Oh, it went rapidly up. It went up to 89, but it's not going any higher." And then I remembered, I've set 90 as a limit, so 89 it's staying under the limit. But anyway, they bring us the water back, and later on they brought the EcoFlow back, and they've had a barbecue. They've got family over and they've had a barbecue. They bring me a couple of burgers, cheeseburgers, and I was going to take one over to my Oppo here, the guy in the other tent, but then I remembered he doesn't eat beef. Oops, that's unfortunate for him, not for me. So I have both. I have 2 beef, and they brought me a bit of wine as well. They brought me some wine, so that's nice. Alcohol in the tramp camp. King of the Tramps, I think. Was it Helen that said that before? I think it was Helen that said King of the Tramps. Camper van. Jasper. I don't drive, mate. A camper van would be lost on me. Press 1 if you think Mike should take up fishing. It's going to happen. I've just been a little bit caught up with other things. Shopping videos, yeah. I'm going to be doing product reviews, Jasper. Is that what you mean? Product reviews, or do you mean actually going into the supermarket? Figs and pies. Tina girl, that's not your part of the tent. Come on back. Tina? Tina girl? Oh, I think did I just hear fireworks? I think she's exploring, looking for new parts of the tent. Tez, how are you doing, my friend? Everybody, say hello to Tez. Very nearly interesting there. Got a fantastic YouTube channel. This guy's going places. This is one of these guys that's going to hit the million one day, like Nerdrotic just did. Fantastic YouTube channel. The guy's video presentation and everything, professional. I can't compete. I am not worthy. Good to see you here, my friend. Where am I, guys? I'm up to Saturday with Bonnie and Clyde, the water. My new, for anyone just joining, I'm a tramp. I live in a field, but I now have electricity in the field. I have an electric socket that will power a fan. It will power a television and more. It's only got a small battery. It's only a small battery. I will have to be careful and use it judiciously. I need a larger solar panel to go with it. My current 20 watts that is adequate for charging a mobile phone and a tablet. It's not going to run a fan. or a television. Television's a bit of a joke. You have to watch back. If you're just arriving, catch the replay where I explain that I picked the TV up. I've got no real intention of any sizable amount of viewing. But it was a fun idea while it was there. I think it was raining that night, so I was rescuing it from the rain. But it works. I could, in theory, watch a few hours each night, a couple of hours maybe, or save it for the weekend and watch my favourite YouTubers like Tez there with his very nearly interesting, or my Friday Night Tights, or my mate Patrick Crow's Thunder. Shout out to all these guys. Shout out to Big Clive Live, bigclive.com, and Scruff Dog with a single F, SCRUFDOG. He gave me a shout out yesterday. It's only fair I return the favour. His channel's bigger than mine. But here we go, folks. Let's get Saturday and Sunday wrapped up, and then you can go. We're coming up on 3 hours, aren't we? Let's get this shit finished. Okay. Bonnie and Clyde, water, charging the EcoFlow for me, bringing me wine, the 2 burgers. Thank you very much, Bonnie and Clyde. Not their real name, but they don't want everyone to know who they are. Saturday night, incredibly warm, guys. We had this bizarre situation where it got warmer at midnight than it had been the rest of the night. It literally got warmer. Maybe cloud cover insulating, keeping the heat in. I can't explain it. But it was 20 degrees, 1 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, still 20 degrees. Eventually dropped down to about 17 or 18. So we didn't get our first tropical night of the year, which is what they call it when it stays above 20 all night. Not quite yet, but probably not far off. And it was one of those warm nights with a warm breeze, and you got this sweet blossom or a flower smell, a honeysuckle kind of sweetness in the air. Spring is here, folks. Spring has started. I was able to sit in my, again for the people just arriving, I've got an armchair in the tent, and a sat on a carpet and an armchair, coffee table with the EcoFlow over there, look, and all the crap on it. I got some furniture over here, shelving units and more, chest of drawers in the bedroom. King of Tramps, Helen called me. I like that. I might go with that. I might use that. But I sat on my armchair Saturday night when the sun goes down. Normally, like now, it's starting to get a little bit cool. There's a breeze. I've got a couple of air vents that I can't close. They're just permanent. They're part of the tent. But Saturday night, or last night, as I like to call it. No, hold on. Yeah, Saturday night. It is Saturday night. Yeah, last night. Very warm, got that sweet smell, and I sat in my chair, and normally I would grab a blanket or a quilt and sit here trying to stay warm as the tent cools. Didn't need to. I sat here all night in shorts and a t-shirt. Sounds like I'm bragging, doesn't it? Maybe. You should all throw it all away and become tramps. I highly recommend it. No, I don't. No, I don't. Rats, mice, rats, whatever else is out there. Probably snakes. I'm in Spain. I don't know what the wildlife is. We get an owl come by every now and again. When I used to sleep outside, when I was just on a bedroll, on a rolled up sunbed mattress, and I had a tarp to wrap the mattress in, a small tarp. I'd look out, and this owl would land on the power pole and look down at me, and he'd look right at me, quite threatening. I got quite frightened at one point. I thought the bugger was going to swoop down and attack me. Magnificent beast, the wingspan, and when he beats the wings to take off, magnificent. And of course he feeds on certainly on the mice. I don't know about rats. I don't know if they're too big for him or not. But predator that I want to have around, because these little bastards have made my life a hell at times. Before a couple of weeks, this tent is what now? About 3 weeks old, is it? Maybe a month at most. Before that, the previous tent, the mice tunneled under and bit their way into my bedroom and were running around in my bedroom. Oh, fuckers. The rats were in the other part of the tent that didn't have any kind of floor to it. They just came under the walls and they were running around and crawling around and hunting around. If you see the video, Christmas morning, 4 o'clock Christmas morning, got one of the bastards in the rat trap. Yeah. Kind of didn't like that. I've kind of become a bit more hardened to it over time. As they plagued me and I hated them, I used to be a bit squeamish about taking the life. Winter Caravan, says Jasper. As well as scorpion. Cheers for that. I don't know, do we have scorpions in this part of Spain? I'm on the south east coast. Costa Blanca South, Torrevieja. Don't know, folks. Catch you later, Ismo. Send me a message, mate, yeah. Let's get this wrapped up, folks. That was Saturday night. So I watched, I was ready. I was like indecisive whether to go to the shop or not. But I was waiting for Big Clive to start. And I forgot. He's alternating. 1 week he's doing a public broadcast. 1 week is a private one just for his Patreon subscribers. So this week was his off week. He wasn't there. So I was waiting for Scruff Dog later on. And I watched quite a bit of Scruff Dog. I got into that. And as I just said, he gave me a shout out, which I appreciate. All week, I've been losing subscribers. I struggled to get over 780. And at one point, I got up to 788. And we ended up back down almost at 780. Now, I don't know whether YouTube's doing a cleanup, removing what they think are bots, but I lost over 1% of my subscribers, which wasn't great. But thanks to Scruff Dog and the shout out yesterday, I got a bit of a boost again. I'm back up. Last I looked, it was 787, I think. Anybody? I'm using the YouTube app. I can't confirm. If anyone can find me a number, tell me in the chat where we're currently at. If you're playing along at home, drink. See whether we can finish before 3 hours are up, folks. Sunday, today, as I like to call it. My mate Joby from the other tent arrived at the... brings bad news every bloody day. Today he's telling me he's knackered his back in the night somehow. He's had a bit of a problem with an air mattress he was using, and some of the... You know, the mattress has like the ripples in it, like the buttons that hold it. The stitching broke and it all became a lumpy mess, so he had to stop using that. And now he's just on a thin foam mattress. And he says it must have moved and he's got like a tree root or a divot or something under his bed. So he's knackered his back. So I had to dig out my medicine kit here and find him some paracetamol, not paracetamol, the other one, ibuprofen. So we sat and had coffee and he went back to his tent. I had a bit of a tidy up outside. I told you the wind last week and the week before, everything's everywhere. Real mess, guys. And I haven't been on top of it. I've been doing the big stuff, tidying like all the wood that I collected for fires back when I had to purify water by boiling it. Before I had the barbecue, the gas grill. All that wood now, we're in the middle of, we're in Spain, we're 2 years into a drought. It's unlikely I'm going to be allowed to be building fires and everything. So I've been throwing the wood away and tidying away and throwing things away that I've outgrown or that are no longer used. But the smaller stuff, the plastic bags blowing around in the wind and all the crap that just builds up underfoot. I took a bag around this morning and had a tidy up on that. Came into the tent and found a cloud of flies. I got some food gone bad on me. Some veg, fruit and veg, some peppers particularly. When picked up and my fingers went through. Hate to waste food, but the last couple of weeks have been so windy. I haven't been able to cook on the gas grill that often. I couldn't do like a big stew or a big, because the wind would literally be blowing it out. If you see the videos where this tent was almost rolling over sideways, when I was being hit on the back of the head by the side of the tent coming in, and I was sat 18 inches in, you know. Wasn't able to do as much cooking, so I've got some bits and pieces. I had a lettuce go bad as well, half a lettuce, lettuce and a pepper. I think that was all. Most of the other stuff in there is salvageable. I hate that. I hate when food's going bad. But flies. Tina girl. The rest of the day, guys, was spent preparing for this TrampCast, getting my notes through the week. I keep the notes on the phone, and then on the day I do my preparation. I research like the numbers, the number 29, episode 29, therefore number 29. Did my research for that this morning, wrote them down, copied across the notes from throughout the week, and here we are, guys. Here we are. You're up to date with the week that was, as I used to call this program before I changed it to TrampCast. Now, I want to talk just a little bit about what's coming up. We've got 4 or 5 minutes before we'll try and finish on or around 3 hours. This week, I have a couple of anniversaries coming up, pseudo anniversaries. Next Sunday, I will have been homeless for exactly 20 months. 20 months since I walked down the steps from my friend's house to live in the park, and 2 months after to be moved on and find myself here. This Wednesday marks 18 months exactly that I arrived here in this site. Also, 18 months since I was flooded out the first time, because that very night this field flooded ankle deep and wiped out all of my belongings. Phone, tablet, power banks, everything gone. Back to the Stone Age, folks. Back to the Stone Age. I didn't know what day, what time it was. I almost lost track of days. I would have to walk past the pharmacy to find out the time. Where in Spain, the pharmacies all have clocks outside, tell you the temperature and the time. I got quite good at telling what time it was from the position of the sun. And I was like this for 3 or 4 months before a couple of ladies stepped in and bought me a few bits and pieces. First a flask, then a radio, just to bring me back in touch with the world. Then they got me the phone and paid a couple of months of credit so that I had, download ability. So I could watch YouTube, and that's where, a little bit later I started actually doing the YouTube stuff. So this next week I've got a couple of, not anniversaries exactly, but pseudo anniversaries. 18 months in this field, and then 20 months homeless. So I'm going to try and mark that somehow. I've also just been accepted into the YouTube partner program, the first stage of that. I don't know whether that's going to be any use to me. I'm not sure I can get the money out if it goes in. Tax, guys. I have to give tax details, and I don't exactly have my paperwork lined up for that. So for now, anyone who does want to help, PayPal is the way forward. It's in the description, links in the description. Only if you want to, only if you've got it to spare. Do not, under any circumstances, be sending money to a tramp in a field if you yourself are struggling. If you're in any doubt whether you need the money yourself or not, keep it. I'd rather you have it. That's important to me. I don't want to be inconveniencing anybody. You got 5, 10, 20 euros to spare, and it's clear and definitely to spare, I appreciate it. But I don't want anybody risking going without themselves. That's not It's not who I am. It's not where we are, guys. It's not where we are. You've seen, I'm on the up. I'm on the up. I've just bought this thing, the tent. I paid half for the tent. I bought the EcoFlow River 2. You can look that up yourself, see how much that costs. I found a fan and a telly. I've got a solar panel system out there. I need a bigger panel. We'll get to that. I'd appreciate any help with solar panel and then a cooler box, because Spain's going to be hot this summer. My tent, I don't want it reaching 50 degrees and ruining all my food like last year. So any help you can give is appreciated, but don't put yourself out. I'm just a guy on the internet, you know? It's what they call a parasocial relationship. We're not really friends. I know you're getting to know me, and I know you're feeling that way, and I like you as well. Not like that. It's a parasocial relationship. Don't get too invested. Don't get too involved. A little bit of pin money. A little bit of money, keep me in food. And maybe to help with the odd device to improve my circumstances. I'd appreciate it. Okay, guys. PayPal is the way, though, for now. The YouTube super chats and super thanks and memberships, for now, I'm not convinced I can get the money back out of that because of the tax reporting requirements. I don't know. I'm going to look into it. Okay, folks, that's it for now. Thank you for being here, bearing with me for 3 hours and 2 minutes. Tina girl, can you come and say goodbye properly? Tina? We'll try and do this the traditional way, folks. But she is hiding away in a part of the tent she's not even supposed to be in. Oh, let's see if we can keep up with tradition. Oh, Tina girl. Oh, okay, guys. Here we go. Let's do this thing. There she is. So, from Tina. And from me, Delta Mike, out. Awkward moment.